it doesn't make any sense. But I find it funny that he's like proudly stating this in an interview. He's like, "Oh yeah, that was me. I'm the Cuban NOS guy. Like, step up to the plate, folks." Like,
I'm not gonna lie,
okay,
that would be my racer's name is Cuban NOS. Welcome, Cuban NOS.
Wait, that's your name at Race Wars? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. That's how I want to be introduced at Race Wars.
Oh my goodness.
The other thing I had a note for, again, we're still sort of at the beginning, was that Dom decides, he's like, hey, he tells his cousin, because his cousin does explicitly mention that Fedora Loan Shark guy has the fastest car on the island. I have the slowest car on the island. So these are at least our barometers, right? He's got the slowest car, he's got the fastest. Dom's car somewhere in the middle of there. Even though, I feel like his should have been the fastest or whatever, but somehow you get one.
Domestic car to the island.
Okay. Fair enough. There was a clarifier. I'm just saying, but I only say that because it's going to come back in a few minutes. Dom says it doesn't matter about what's under the hood. It's about the racer of the car. And then proceeds to tear apart his cousin's car by hand, which I'm like, what is this, fucking Street Fighter? Like, why is his car not welded together?
It was actually made by Tesla.
He's literally just kicking.
It's just glue, man. It's just glue.
It's a very early
Cybertruck. Yeah. He literally just kicks in the bumper and the whole thing falls off. He rips off the side panels and the hood with his hands. I'm like, this car, even though it's a shitty car, had to have been welded, even if it was welded 60 years ago. Like, how are you just pulling it apart? Anyway, he then proceeds to put in Cuban NOS, and Letty mentions that this is like basically a bomb. So I'm like, you put enough NOS in there, even though it's the driver of the car, like you're just cheating now.
Yeah.
Like you came in
pretty much.
and also it's a little bit about the car you drive, because you're not putting like a Pinto in these races and be like, it'll do fine. Like, it matters about the car too. Like,
he just shows up with a Vespa.
I'll
take it from here.
I would watch
Italian NOS. They put Italian NOS. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, we're upsetting our Italian listeners now. We apologize.
We lost.
We pray to Saint Luigi.
Wait, come back to us. Shout pasta fagioli when you hit Italian NOS?
Yeah,
I feel like yes.
He opens up the glove compartment, pulls out a plate.
The next time I play Mario Kart and I hit NOS, I'm gonna just scream pasta fagioli.
I feel like
we have another race sport name. Cuban NOS versus pasta fagioli.
I main with code. I have to scream mushroom ravioli.
I love it.
Great.
So the other question I had was, so here's the plan. We're gonna race cars. His car, the Fedora Loan Shark guy's car, is up on like a little perch where you can see it. Like, they're talking and it's like in the background. The car that they're gonna impound is right there being impounded. He says we're gonna race for it, and then he proceeds to let Dom take the car somewhere else to go outfit it. Like, I don't understand how this race works. Like, shouldn't he just hop in the car, drove over to the finish line, both of them, and like taking it from there? What does he have time to outfit it with NOS?
Because
family. Why do you?
That's it.
Family.
I'm just saying.
He wants to prove he's better. Do whatever you want to that car. I'm wrong. No
Fernando.
It just seems kind of odd that.
No, I thought his cousin was Fernando.
Fernando.
No, I thought. I can go back to because I had the wiki open.
See, this is why I kept it to Fedora. You guys are confusing yourselves.
All right, I am Fedora.
Yeah. Yeah, auto show by the local racer Fernando, who is owed money for a car from Dom's cousin. Fernando is the name of the
Fedora.
The Fedora.
Okay. Like I said, nonetheless, they allowed Dom to cheat, which I thought Dom was all about honor, family and all this. He's like, I'm just outfitted with NOS and that's how I'll win. Anyway, freaking loser. The other question I had was, they get to the starting line, and mind you, he's taken all the like things that make the car aerodynamic off the car. I don't know why he does that. But they have a flag girl
for weight. I figured it was for weight. Like, just
pull
the doors off. It
could be for weight, but I'm like, you're also slowing the car down at this point, because the front of the car is just hitting up against the wind. Like, you're not cutting it in any way.
You've never raced with Cuban NOS though, so that's clearly. Yeah,
I mean, fair.
My bad. But they have a flag girl, and I'm like, where are they finding flag girls after 2010? If we go this long, like drag racing flag girls.
the casting couches are still a thing, right? Like that still exists. And in Cuba,
I mean, but that's just porn at this point. Like, who wants to be a flag girl?
Well, I mean, like
clearly
porn stars
this
have
young lady.
side gigs, right? Like
In the movie,
Yeah.
I'm saying
Yeah.
if we're in the world of Fast and Furious, this random
Well,
Cuban girl's
okay,
like, I'm going to be a
okay.
flag girl.
Oh well.
I believe this movie is now 8 years old, right?
Okay, so this is before TaskRabbit, so they
2017?
didn't just like go on their phones and get a TaskRabbit to try and
TaskRabbit.
show up.
Flag girl.
No,
I mean, maybe that's when Dom had a chance to like go and outfit his car. It's like, oh, you got to wait for the flag girl to get here. It could be 30 minutes. She's on the other side of the island.
yeah,
Okay, hey,
I like the idea that there is an official flag girl that they have to wait for her. Like they don't just grab anybody. It's like, no, man, no race happens on flag girl. We gotta hold.
I mean,
gotta wait.
this is a regulation Cuban mile. I need Cuban flag girl.
mile.
The Cuban Cup. There will be points awarded.
It's very confusing though because we're an Italian flag girl in this
Yeah.
Cuban mile. They also had these motorcycles guys running around now that the race has started. Also, they get off the line, and Dom's car is going neck and neck with this guy. I'm like, I thought this was the slowest car on the island. Without NOS, he's keeping up already. I'm like, he should have gotten
ripped off
slick
2/3 of the weight of the car.
I'm just saying, yeah. I'm like, how is this car keeping up without the NOS already? So either the cousin was lying, or we're led to believe this car was just good to begin with.
Did you miss the part where he says it's not about the car, it's about the driver?
Yeah, but then proceeds to make it all about the car.
Exactly.
Did you like black out? I don't understand.
I'm sorry. You're right. I was too busy looking at the flag girl. I missed all the like intricacies of this.
Trying to
They
figure
show
out how she got hired.
Yeah. Is this like
there
a
an app for
W9,
that?
W2? How does this go?
What's her 401k look like?
Shit now, relatively speaking.
Damn it.
Oh no, she's in Cuba. She's in Cuba. She's fine.
Yeah. She gets
So
a
he
healthy
uses the
Tommy
NOS
doesn't
the
happen
first
to her.
time. He uses his first thing in NOS, and I don't exactly know what this engine part is, but it is boiling red under the hood. I don't know if you guys recognize that.
Yeah,
This thing is
I wanna-
basically on fire. Go ahead, kid.
Yeah, I was going to mention one thing. We do in the race, we do get that obligatory Che painting on the wall. So like, I'm like, oh, they're clearly in Cuba because there's a Che painting on the wall. So thank you for that.
Yes.
It's also when they first started, like Letty's on the motorcycle soon. I'm like, what are they doing here? Like, why is she? But then eventually, when they get up there, like, oh, there are team members for everyone to help block off the street so that as they race their Cuban mile, they don't have any cross traffic. I'm like, oh, that actually makes sense. Good on you. Thank you for bringing that up. Like,
We give him too much credit.
no, because
Why was Letty
it
on the
also
starting
gives-
line when she could have been a light ahead already?
Hey, that's because they needed to also plant them for later shenanigans. That's
Okay.
why. But I was just like, oh, at first I was just like, why is she even there? But then they kind of hit you with it quickly, and then also for later shenanigans. So
But that was also my question though, is that because they are moving through moving traffic to block stuff, right? I'm like, what happens if Letty gets hit? Like, you're gonna have a mess because not only the car's not
Yeah.
stopping, but now you're gonna come
Whoa.
flying through, not knowing that the area is clear.
Why would
find
Letty
another
get-
Letty?
Well, why would she get hit?
Okay, maybe
She's
not
the
Letty,
second
but
best driver in the world behind him. What are you talking
she's on a
about?
motorcycle though.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Well, what about
and that's
well,
when-
there's
that's when we'll
If
cover
there's a
has it
truck,
got wheels?
okay?
Has it got an
There's-
engine?
there's at least 3 other motorcyclists though. One of them has to get hit, and the whole race is over.
Yeah, who cares about those guys? They're not part of the main cast.
I'm just saying, this seems like a faulty plan to be like, hey, we're gonna have a Cuban mob, we're gonna send these guys out, and they're gonna get there right before. And again, this isn't like they walled it off and said, oh, they're gonna be here in 15 seconds or 20 seconds. These guys are getting here like seconds before Dom and the other guy come flying through. So if they get bumped, hit, whatever, or don't do it in time, they're about to smash into a bunch of people.
Why are you confused? Have you never raced a Cuban mile?
No, I'm sorry, I have not.
I
Okay, then clearly you should look at your Race Wars rule book. Okay, next time,
My
check that
bad.
before asking crazy
Wait,
questions.
The thing that kills me is that this is the suspension of disbelief, like not the ripping the crap off of the car and all this stuff, but like the director was like, we need to stop traffic. And I'm like, bro, that's the last thing that any of us are like that's the plot hole we're going to point out. Like,
everybody knows Vin Diesel is strong enough to rip cars into pieces. That's established. We don't have to worry about that. But
Yeah,
cross traffic.
cross traffic.
That's a
People are going
problem.
to ask questions about that and be real
I just-
serious.
Was that in his? I'm curious if that was in his contract or writer. He's like, no, I don't use tools to rip the side panels off. I just use my arms. Like that's. By the way, that's my really bad Vin Diesel apology. But do you think that was in there? Like he's like, what if you use a monkey wrench? Like, no, I just rip them off with my arms. And they're like,
I think
Vin, we can't look. It's in the contract.
that's what happened
here.
Yeah.
It's not in the contract. He went to the director and said, "Hey, it'd be cooler if I rip this off." And the director went, "Yeah, my check cleared, man. I don't care. Do it."
I was gonna say, you guys make it sound like he went to the director. He handed him the script, and the director was like, "Oh, okay, sure, let's shoot this. I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's fine. I get to go to all these places.
Yeah.
Treat it like a Sandler film.
I'll hang out with Fly Girl. It's fine.
I mean, it's like 51st Dates. You're in Hawaii. You might as well just enjoy yourself.
Yeah, exactly. There's no bad days.
So I mentioned
Who won the race?
Nobody knows. There's a camera rolling somewhere. So like I said, they use the first thing in NOS. And this engine part is, like I said, it is boiler red. Car's already smoking. And he's still keeping up with the guy. Now, mind you, the guy started to pull away before he used the NOS. So I'm like, all right, you're at least showing that the car is a little bit slow now. I mean, they're doing at least 80 miles an hour, maybe a little bit longer than that. He uses the first thing of NOS on this. And I'm like, shouldn't a car start to fall apart because it's not built to have that much air shoot through it at any given point in time? Like, it's not made for that?
Yeah.
No. That's why he tore those other pieces off. Those are the pieces that were going to fall off.
Well, then the car finally does catch fire. And now, I know you guys, but whenever my car gets a little flaggy thing, like when it's too hot,
this car doesn't have check engine lights.
Fair
That's not
enough.
what this car has.
I'm just saying. When my car gets near that little flaggy thing, it starts to slow itself down. Like, hey, I'm dying, dude. I'm done. His car's on fire, and he's still doing 90 miles an hour.
See, you seem to think that it's about the car. It's about the racer. Okay.
Yeah. It's how much plot armor the racer has.
And he's burning right through it, literally.
I mean, right now, what Jay is driving right now, that check engine light, it's not coming on because he has it covered. It's about the racer.
Do you see that my seatbelt is in fact unhooked?
Oh, he's living wild.
I'm living wild, guys.
I'm not gonna lie, Kareem. You starting to sound like a buster.
But I got you out of handcuffs.
Yeah, did you? Did you?
I brought you home.
He's a cop, man.
God,
Yeah,
solved it.
Got me.
Comes back every time.
Well, so now we're on the bridge in the race. Dom has decided because the car's on fire, the fire is going into his face, that, hey, maybe I should drive backwards.
At some point, though, they also decided to throw a motorcycle in front of him to fuck with him. Like, didn't that happen before?
You're right.
On fire?
They did.
Yeah.
They did, yeah.
Yeah. Because he's like,
I think that actually would have
yeah.
led to the fire.
Yeah, because Fernando's like, no, I can't lose to this Busta. I've got to fuck with him too. So he's like, ghost him. I'm like, but you're, by the way, good with killing him. That's just straight out death. Like, not like you put it like real cars, real people, dead. He off the road, dead. Also, all civilians dead.
Hold on, he wasn't trying to kill him. He was trying to slow him down.
He tried to turn him into a ghost. He said, "Ghost him." That's what that means.
Perhaps.
No, that's me. Okay.
Not in Cuba.
No, not in Cuba.
There you go.
He's
gotta say Cuban ghost him.
Yeah, Cuban ghost him.
You just slow him down. Not dead.
Yeah.
You Americans always want to kill people.
Yeah, I know. Just jumping right to it.
Yeah.
I need to make a shirt.
I think the
now
plan
that
was to
says
slow him down.
Cuban
Now my
Nos.
question
That's
is,
what I want.
Cuban
they had ghosting planned though, right? That either they've done it before, or they were realizing that someone lied about this fucking car because it's still keeping up with me. Because there'd be no reason to say ghost him if he was very confident, like, hey, I could smoke this old ass car. You don't need to be. We don't ghost anybody.
Well, and then does it always mean throw a motorcycle in front of it? Like, do they just have racks of these motorcycles that just like fuck up, ghost them, and like every race they just have that ready to go? Like,
Yeah. He's
They
like,
run out, and like they're just using bicycles. Like, we ran out of all. We gotta just throw whatever we got. Get the unicycles.
I mean, that's part of them setting up that they have like partners on motorcycles. Like that's kind of like them building it into the story. That's what they did that for. I feel like, well, we have to give a reason why we have this motorcycle on the field to ghost him later on. So we put them at the beginning of the race so you know what's going on. Like,
But weren't they
it's
used
just
to stop traffic though?
not just off traffic, they also ghost people with them.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's a Patrick
So-
Swayze situation.
So
Yep.
he's now driving backwards because of fire. And I'm like, how is he doing more than 60 miles an hour going backwards with this thing? Uses his third can of NOS. And I'm like, again, you okay, kid?
I just in my head, he's like, he said Patrick Swayze him, and so just like in my head behind Dom is just Patrick Swayze going, I love you. And just that's what was playing in my head. So I tried to
Just
play it down.
so
but-
you-
hands wrapping around him and then just like
Yeah.
pressing the NOS button.
exactly pressing the NOS button, but it also made me think
A lot
of the
of, lot
community
of
episode.
But it's all in
Yes.
slow motion and sensual.
Yeah, very
you went a
much
way
so.
different direction. I thought he was gonna rip his throat out. Roadhouse.
I just in Roadhouse, and come on.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's a different phrase.
My
Cuban
bad.
Roadhouse is a whole other thing.
Just that I'm having lunch with him.
Yeah.
So
But
that
that's
Cuban Roadhouse.
not until next month for our Roadhouse episode.
Okay.
Oh man. All right.
All right, so,
But,
so the
but the
driver,
Jake Gyllenhaal one. The Jake Gyllenhaal.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Gotta
so
see Conor
Jay,
McGregor.
Jay, go ahead and start making your avatar now for you standing in a Roadhouse.
Just have a bunch of like kicking sort of
Yeah,
animations.
kick-
Cool.
No, but with
Just
like,
like feet that pop up that kick.
and a naked Conor McGregor just walking around back behind you.
There you go.
Don't threaten me with a good time. I'll do it.
Pat's really hoping you will. I hope you got that.
Instead of eating my lunch, I was setting up this shot. So, dude, like,
Worth it.
We appreciate it. So
Yes.
for everyone who's listening, make sure you check out the video podcast. It is
Yes,
deeply worth it.
this is pretty awesome. All right, so we're 9 minutes in. He's driving backwards, car on fire, hits his third can of NOS. And again, I mentioned this, I think maybe off the pod, but I'm going to say it again. We established that NOS and flames don't go together. But in this case, they do, and the car doesn't blow up. The NOS works just fine. I don't understand how that works.
Did we establish that in part one?
That's what I'm saying. That the franchise said, hey, NOS and fire don't go together. And in this movie, it apparently works just fine. Car edges out the other guy. And go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say it's smart NOS. It doesn't hurt.
Oh, it's Cuban NOS.
Dumb. Yeah, it's Cuban NOS, right?
That's where that was my bad.
It dances around the fire. God damn it.
How?
I'm
You
so
would-
mad. I'm so mad.
I like how you got mad at yourself for that one.
As soon as I said it, I was like, nope, no. Don't do that.
Not gonna get me fired.
Oh, God damn it. Sorry.
That was awesome.
Sorry, goddamn hero. How do they know who won the race? They had to
Well, they
slow
show-
it down.
they-
Like we saw it in
yeah.
slow mo.
We saw it in slow mo, but apparently somebody was. Maybe the flag girl was out there. Maybe that's her. That's why she's really there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. She's the one with the drone and the GoPro. So she's able to film that. And she's like, okay, I can officially, again, that's why you hire TaskRabbit, folks.
I start the race.
Be sure
I
to
end
use the
race.
code Tangential Giants at Task. Sorry.
Only
She's
for
like-
car
she's a
races though.
full stack
Or just
flag
count
girl.
only
She does
counts.
everything.
Yeah, it only counts for car races.
I like the idea. My headcanon was they actually, because these races are so important, because it is the Cuban Grand Prix, they get the stuff they use, the technology they use for the Olympics that they have for their Olympic trial team, and they bring it out to see who wins the race. That's
I
my
mean, it feels like the way that they did the slow mo is exactly what you're saying. Like they're like,
Yeah.
oh, we got to get that great line, that electromagnetic technology going on.
Mhm.
Anyway, he passes the line. He wins by an inch. Crazy, going backwards, and then his brakes are gone. So then he proceeds to drive, and he's yelling to people, "Get out of the way!" Mind you,
Yeah.
as they're coming down the lane, they're all cheering him on. The car's on fire. They're cheering him on. I'm like, how does anybody know he's still alive? And this isn't just a rogue car. Like he could have burned to death already.
and then they cut to them rushing the lane.
Into the way of the car.
Like they run
Yeah.
into it. My note is the crowd, so filled with joy, rushes into the death in front of the flaming reverse car. Like,
Yes.
because that's what the shot is. It's like they are so happy they run onto the field. Like that's not. Don't do that in a race. Like don't do that. Like what is this? Like yeah.
In their defense, they actually thought this was the end of the movie, so
Fair
they
enough,
too
yeah.
thought they had plot armor.
Yeah. I feel
So
like 3 seconds after that beat, the car explodes, and then it's a whole different movie.
Yeah.
Exactly. A lot less
And
cheering.
now, welcome to Cuban Final Destination. It's again.
Nice.
This
Another
is Cuban
spin-off.
death.
Now it's just Dom escaping death at every other time.
Don't. Because now
it's
they're
coming.
gonna
It's
do
coming.
Yeah,
It's
because
in
they'll
the-
make
yeah.
it. So wait, so we're getting Devon Sawa confirmed in Fast 11. Is that what we just heard?
Yes.
Cool.
Great.
Well, because I mean, he does technically escape because he jumps out of the car. The car goes like off the bridge and into the Atlantic Ocean or whatever. And I'm like, everyone's like cheering for him. And I'm like,
Goes in the Gulf of America, I think. It's
fair
Cuba,
enough.
Gulf of America. No.
Yeah, no, I
Fine. No,
followed.
it's a rough. It's a real rough time. I'm sorry. Go. For
Yeah,
it.
too soon, man. Too soon.
Yeah.
Too
That's fair.
soon.
Waited
Wait to bring the
date
pod
when we
down.
did
I'm
this
out of here. Fuck
podcast.
this.
Seriously.
No, family.
It's just like
Beetlejuice.
Is family
Yeah,
your
exactly.
safe word? Is
Eight-
that like
eight
what you
times.
used to have?
Yeah, exactly. I bring everybody
I'm
back.
compelled to come back.
Yeah.
All right. So they are cheering Dom on after he's just jumped out of the car and won. And I'm asking myself, why? Because this race means nothing to anybody. It'd be one thing if Fedora Loan Shark guy took everybody's car and they're like, oh, Dom won all our cars back. Why the fuck is everyone cheering this dude on?
I mean, because Dom's a sub. Maybe. I mean, it's his. I would say maybe he's a local celebrity now because he brought the new
He's
fancy
on a
car from
honeymoon.
America.
How long has he been there?
Long enough to bring his car here.
Well, I mean, hasn't
His
he
car
been to
goes
Cuba
everywhere. with him.
before though? That's how he met the wife that got shot in the head in this movie. Spoilers.
Oh,
Sorry.
spoilers! Whoa!
God damn it,
No.
Jay.
Because that was
Sorry.
Brazil.
Yeah.
Oh,
Atlanta was
right.
in Brazil.
Okay.
Wow.
his-
Just mixing up your
his-
Latin American countries.
Ooh, this is tough.
He's too busy dancing. What
Too
he's
busy
doing.
dancing like the Cuban NOS.
I'm
I'm just trying to figure out why everyone's cheering him, and then like all these kids surround him, and he picks up
it
this
felt like-
girl, this random girl. And I'm like, who the fuck is she?
Yeah, I felt like there needed to be a moment where like other people had lost cars to Fernando, and that's why they're like, oh yeah, he got his comeuppance. Yay,
yeah.
go us versus Fernando. At least that, like, oh yeah, it's like when they said like, oh, you're gonna send you're gonna move this car out of to the States. It's like, yeah, he did that to Jamie's car and Daniel's too, and like all these people lost cars, so that's why they're happy for him. But
And
Just-
again,
there's, like,
it would make sense if the guy were an asshole and was like just doing it, before like they could pay him back. I'm like, he's giving. Go ahead,
I'm sorry.
Pat.
Just cut
No,
to the United States, Los Angeles County, Jay Leno's house. Every car that he has exported has been purchased by Jay Leno and restored.
I don't see what the problem is.
Classic car collection.
Wait. So is Jay Leno funding the cabal? Wait, have we
Oh!
circled this around?
Oh,
welcome to the family, Jay.
oh, okay.
Family. Oh yes.
Are you talking about Jay on the pod or Jay Leno?
No, Jay in the pod.
Oh,
I don't.
okay.
Yes.
Leno's part of the cabal. I don't care about. I mean, I care.
Hey, he's a different type of family.
Yeah. He's La Familia. I don't know
La
what that's.
Familia, yeah.
It just felt like they're trying to build this guy up to be a bad guy, but they failed horribly. Because again, to Pat's point or Kid's point, it's like if he mistreated everyone on the island, it's like, all right, now he gets to come up. But I'm like, the guy provided a service and your cousin couldn't fucking pay. Like, your cousin's in the wrong here.
Yeah.
And if
Only
everyone's
you to
cheering,
say a loan shark is providing a service, I don't think they get viewed in that regard.
I mean, the money
mean-
is the service, Pat.
Mulder
Unless
God,
the
let's
loan
go
shark
with that
forced him to take the money and
I
was like, hey, if you don't pay me back, he's like, but I didn't need it. Just take the money. Oh, now it's in your hand. You owe me. It's like, well,
I mean,
take
would
it
it have
back.
been too much for them to go like deep dive in there where it's like, yeah, it's a 27% interest rate. It's like, fuck that guy. would that be too much?
That'd
Well,
be
I like that
perfect.
they're teaching the economics of it all. Like, no. Well, it's 27% APR. No.
Yeah.
That's highway robbery.
Yeah.
We're all for
that's what Dom-
capitalism here, but not that much capitalism.
not that much capital.
Yeah, just add that line in, Dom. Like, so how much you owe him? What's the interest rate? Damn
What's
it,
the
pretty
vig? Yeah.
Nope. Interest rate. I need him to say interest rate.
well. That at least would make more sense. Make this guy a bad guy. Anyway, so all these kids surround him. and Letty sees him pick up this random girl. Again, don't establish like, hey, maybe this is a niece, maybe this is like the neighbor girl next door. She's just a random girl that he picks up, and I'm like,
it's one of Dom's just kids from one of his other crosses that he's handed out. That's what he does.
Which makes the next scene of Letty looking.
I cannot stress how visual this has become.
Oh, it's the best. Which makes the next scene look weirdly weird because Letty's got this longing look in her eye, like, oh, look at him. He'd be a great father. I'm like, little do you know. Little do you know.
Also, what did you just see that would make him a great father? What part of that?
He picked up a random girl.
Oh, yeah, of
driving
course.
backwards on fire.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of father you want.
That's what I look for in a dad, but I don't
Putting
have
himself
one.
in constant danger.
Yeah, that's I have issues. That's all I'm saying.
So does Dom. I was hoping somebody would like come and grab, like, take the girl away and be like, "Thank you, Dom," or whatever. I'm like, she's just a random girl. Like, first off, you're bringing
my
a kid
daughter down.
Yeah, exactly. You're street racing. This the dude who almost killed himself and killed everyone else in this area picks her up and is like, "Well, put her down. You don't fucking know her." Like, I was rooting for you, I was clapping for you, but don't touch my daughter. Then he goes over to Fedora Lone Guy and is like, "Hey, you won fair and square," and he's like, "I just need your respect." I'm like, what the fuck was this race for then?
Yeah. Well, and then also, like, in my head, though, I'm like, well, your cousin needs a car, though, too. Like, they haven't answered that, but it still bothers my brain. He's like,
oh, no, they answered. He's like, take my car.
Yeah.
Your car was too slow for Toretto. And I'm like, you could have done that before this fucking race. And I can have a car. The car that your cousin owes me. Yeah. Because now I'm out money.
You're out money.
Oldest of opens.
Also, we are 8 minutes into this film.
Fernando's out the car that he was owed, that like legally he paid for. Also, Fernando out one of his ghost motorcycles. Like, what do we don't?
What are we talking?
Fernando ghost motorcycles.
Legally, he's a loan shark, guys. That's not legal. That's not how any of this works.
I'm pro small business. Okay, I don't know what you're trying to do here.
Pat,
I'm not working.
Let's put it this way, Pat. Did he give him money?
I don't know. I didn't see that part of the movie.
He obviously gave him something because he owes.
I didn't see him hand money.
Then maybe you should have watched the DVD extras and saw.
Damn it. They did record
it. I get that he's a loan shark, but he still gave him the money. Like, he handed him, said, "Here's the money. You have this time to pay me." That was this again. Up till then, they're at least on the up and up for that exchange. Not saying that it's legal, but he was at least a man enough to be like, "Here's the money. You have till now to pay me." The guy, his cousin, was like, "I can't pay you right now. I'm going to take your car because that's how much you owe me." Now he has no car and his cousin didn't pay. Yeah. Toretto could have just said, "Hey, take the car. Take my car, and I'll let this guy take this car. I don't need a car. I'm going to walk around from now on," which is exactly what he does.
Mm-hmm. But also now, speak. Now Fernando's out respect as well because he had to give his respect to Dom, so he's also out of that respect.
Well, the best part is I took a screenshot. I'm going to put it up on the post after this. Is it Fernando? Is smiling because he's like, "Hey, not only we have mutual respect." But in my head, he was thinking, "I'm gonna get your fucking car because your cousin is a fucking loser and he's gonna owe me again in a month. I know what's coming to me." I win on this.
Yeah. Well, and I guess because the thing is too, it's like he doesn't get the car. He didn't get the car that he was supposed to get, so he still owed that debt. So yeah, can he just be like, "Hey, I know Dom raced for you, but you still owe me"?
No. Technically, he did get the car. The terms of the agreement was he took the car, and then Dom said, "Hey, all right, I'll challenge you. If I can beat you with the worst car versus this, everything is square."
Fair. Except he changed it at the end. Was like, "I don't want the car." Does that null and void the deal?
No, he's just saying like, I have won this car, but I will not take possession of this car.
Like I said,
it's only partial payment.
When you see the picture of the smile, you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, Fernando's getting that car back." He knows.
Yeah. Oh, how do you?
I'll just wait to a month to your big brother cousin's not here, and you need some more money.
Yeah. He's just gonna kill him. What are you talking about?
Exactly. That's why everyone was cheering.
Ghost his ass. You see a motorcycle flying out of nowhere. I didn't mean right now.
I'm picturing like literally now I'm like pulling it into like an extended universe of just like there's a hitman with motorcycles in the back of a truck. Maybe that's the new member of the Cabal. Is like they have a hitman named Ghost that just throws motorcycles at cars.
Well, the best part is he has like one of those trucks like in what was it, Bad Boys 2, where he just like unloads it from like the car lift and just like rolling out the back of a truck into other cars.
I assume this hitman is played by a CGI Patrick Swayze.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And on the side of the truck it says Roadhouse.
Not Ghost. Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
But it's in the font from the movie Ghost.
Yes.
Yes.
All confusing.
Yes. And a picture
they-
of Whoopi Goldberg. That's
No,
what's
Whoopi,
really
Whoopi Goldberg's she's riding
Yeah.
shotgun.
Just like
Yeah.
there you go.
So now we're at least 12 minutes in, and we're doing what I call baby fever pillow talk, where
Fair.
Michelle Rodriguez brings up the fact, like, "Hey, we've never talked about having kids," and I'm like, "Because you guys weren't that type. Where's this coming from? This feels out of character." And I say this specifically because they don't give her any sort of character. Like, it isn't like, oh, I've come from a large family. I would like to have a large family, or my sister just had kids and now I want kids. For all we know, that Letty is an orphan raised by MMA fighters, and that's all we know about her. And all of a sudden now she wants kids. We're assuming mid-30s in. Where is this coming from?
I just want to see
She
if her
saw him-
like. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I would say I want a shot of her in like a skin tight onesie, being like, my biological clock is ticking like this. This is already scary. Again, crossing over worlds in my head. Carry on.
That's basically what this scene felt like, and I'm like, where is this coming from?
She saw him pick up a child. She'd never thought of kids before that.
Never.
Never considered it.
Not at all.
Like, oh, a
She
small
wasn't even sure
human.
what kids were. She's like, wait.
Yeah.
So that's a
Well, no,
That's a
like grows
child.
in. That's a child.
it's from the head injury. She didn't remember what the concept of kids were until that moment.
Yeah. Oh, she's like, is that just a Cuban person? I don't know. Is that just how?
It's a small Cuban. Oh my
Perfect. We lost all our Cuban viewers too. Italians and
Yeah.
Cubans just falling off to the wayside.
They know what they did.
Fair enough.
They know what they.
I just wish they would given Letty a little backstory to at least explain some of this.
This is only the 8th movie. Give him time.
I know, man. You
Yeah.
gotta let him cook. You gotta let him cook.
I feel like they were just rushing it. Like, oh, get some Uncle Ben's this rice in here. She wants a kid. It's as fast as we can cook. Next thing we have Dom walking. And again, he's in his gray pants and boots. And I'm like, it's average weather in Cuba. It's like 80-something degrees. I'm like, why does this guy never ever wear shorts anywhere?
Too tough.
Remember, he
Not
wore the
too
same
long.
kind of sort of outfit to the beach. The beach! And he's in boots.
He's got a body of a street shark where it's just all the muscles up top and it's just like little tiny
Exactly.
legs.
Ah.
He always skips
Oh.
leg day, except for the one that's on the gas pedal. Boom.
There you go. He's got one giant calf.
Just
It's got like Popeye-sized calves.
Exactly.
Yep.
Little tiny
yeah.
ankles.
Yeah.
Knees,
Huge ass
knees
calves.
barely holding on. Barely holding
Yeah.
on.
so yeah, Charlize Theron makes her appearance
There you
in
go.
Oh boy, does she.
in I don't want to say braids because I don't think they're braids, they're more like twists. And I'm like,
Twist, yeah.
Yeah.
what is going on here? Like, who on the set design thought that was, or not set design, the hair and makeup's like, this is the look. We're gonna go straight from Swordfish because she's a hacker. We'll just pull stuff like that. What was going on? Where was there like, this is the look? I don't know.
She's at least on vacation. That's what they're trying to display. Because Dom is never on vacation.
I mean, well, if
Mr. I
he
won't
had
wear
hair
fucking
straight
shorts.
too, then okay.
Well, probably. He can do
Yeah.
like the bald man's stretch, but it's like just from the back.
Yeah,
But yeah, she shows up. She explains to him that after she's made her odd introduction, like, hey, how are you guys enjoying yourselves? That she put a lot of work into getting Dom in this specific spot. She talks about like how the streets are blocked off and how you do like walk for his coffee. To me, I was thrown off by this because I'm like, that means you were watching him, right? Which meant you watched him yesterday almost kill himself. What were you thinking?
what would have happened had all that not transpired and he died and your entire your hundreds of thousands of dollars of
Full setup.
time like
yeah.
Yeah, all of a sudden, like,
I mean,
oh shit.
if
I guess
we're
we go get
looking to
Tej
the-
now. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
If we're looking into the future of the movie, she just has supreme confidence that he will not just like, no, he can do it. He's dumb.
He
Fine.
almost died there.
Well, that's-
Almost.
It-
And
that's
I'm just saying, I feel like she was probably in a room going, shit.
Just like,
no, because that's where they shoehorn in the name for the film. Like, it must be fate. Furious. Like, that's
But-
where we get in.
But is
I did the thing.
Isn't Cypher's whole thing not fate? Like, isn't it planning everything?
Well, that's
She's like
well, no, because
anti-fate.
my brain went to Terminator 2, where she's like, no fate, but what can we make? My mom, she's gonna kill Tyson, and she runs off. But the whole fate, there's no fate but what we make, is what tied into my head, which now makes me want to bring in the Terminator to this franchise.
That'd be dope if that were like the tattoo on like her shoulder or something.
Yeah.
No,
call out.
but it has
Yeah.
to be was it Krista Loken? What the T3 Rise of the
Christina
Machines
Loken.
The
Terminator.
T3.
Yeah,
Yeah, Christina.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
She
the
could make
Terminator
it-
coming in.
yeah,
She's
she would
very
pop up
easy.
as a race girl. Just
Yeah,
there you go.
she
And then we-
just walks up. I like your bike, and
And
Not my
that's
ghost
where we-
bike.
Not my ghost bike.
That's where we meet Mrs. Nobody, played by the Sarah Connor actress.
Ooh,
I can't remember her name suddenly.
Ooh.
Linda
Linda
Hamilton.
Carter, not Linda.
that's
Hammer.
Wonder Woman.
Linda
Linda
yeah.
Hamilton.
Hamilton. Thank you.
Yes.
But
So
Mrs.
then we're
Nobody, that'd
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm down.
Better than Little Nobody they keep bringing in, try to shoehorn in.
I've got notes. We have notes.
Okay. We're transported to The Rock at a soccer game now. And he does his, I forget, what is the name of this dance?
It's a haka.
specific- Okay.
Yeah, Haka. Yeah.
Now he does this, and my question is that like, usually in a soccer league, you play roughly the same teams over and over, unless you're like traveling all the time. And they're in the championship, so I'm like, what are the odds that that team has seen this dance before and is like, oh god, here they go again?
Also, we weren't troubled by just the little blonde white girls doing a haka in the middle of all this.
Yeah.
We're just like, no, that's fine. As long as the
I just
Rock's
wanna-
there.
What
gave
if
us
the parents were like,
clearance.
hey, can my daughter opt out of your weird little
Yeah.
island dance?
this
We're Jewish.
felt like the moment.
Just saying, like, I feel like there's some parents that have been like, hey, we
I'm
get
not
it,
okay
dude.
with
Like
it.
you and your daughter can do that. The rest of us don't want to do this.
This is what's in the Rock's writer. Like we
Yeah.
learned that they
No,
all
I
have a
get
fair
it.
amount of like
Yeah.
script approval. They're like, no, this is what's going to happen here. Also-
This is where you really start to see the threads. Sorry, Ken. Go ahead.
No, you're gonna say you're good. Mine can follow.
No, this is where you can really see the threads where The Rock and Vin Diesel were not agreeing with each other because it's just like the entire tonal shift. Like it's the Tooth Fairy again. What's happening? Why are we doing this? We don't
Sure.
need this.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
But I want it.
Daddy's got to go to work.
There you go.
Daddy's got to go to work.
Daddy's got to go to work.
Well,
But-
it's good, Ken.
I was gonna say we couldn't have got a better actor for the FBI, whatever FBI : CIS : CIA, movie
FBI,
he's in.
CIA.
FBI, CIA
ABC guy,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, just the generic. Like we couldn't have got like, given he wasn't given a lot to do, but I'm like, this could have been. It's a small little performance. It could have been judged up with a good character actor. Like, give me someone.
Hey, do you
I
want
don't
someone upstage in The Rock? As Pat said, you start to see the threads where people were taking over the scenes. Like, I'm going to write my
Yeah.
scene.
Like
So
that
then why
guy's
was-
probably related to The Rock's ex-wife some way, shape, or form.
So my question is, why wasn't that Kevin Hart? Like, just if it's gonna be a scene with The Rock, just bring in a little Kevin Hart to splash.
Have,
that
wait,
in
have
there.
they started the relationship yet? Though I don't know if it's
By
if it's
2017, they must have, right?
Yeah, they had to have been there.
See, you
Hold
guys are thinking that, but I feel like they just squished in a bunch of movies in like 3 years in a 3-year time frame.
That's fair too.
I'm hacking right now to find out.
Tesh,
Oh,
get
no.
out of there! Get out of there, Tesh!
His hair immediately just breaks into braids.
I'm in.
I'm in. Oh no, he's gone full Cipher.
It looks like so they had worked on Central Intelligence in 2016. I think this came out 2017, so they might have been
You're right.
filming it around the same time.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
You're right.
there we go.
So it's-
See,
Fair enough. At 1740, we get the shot of all the single moms there because the FBI agent or whoever this guy is like, hey, you got a lot of fans over there. And Rock tries to be bashful, but I'm like, I get that there are a lot of moms that want to go see him do his weird, like, Samoan dance, but I'm like, what are you looking at after that? Like, you have to. I mean, you're just watching the soccer game.
His muscles.
Yeah.
Just
Have you
watch
never
the
just like stopped by any random soccer game just to ogle the coach while there's a bunch of young children running around? Isn't that
Kareem,
all fine? Apparently.
yeah, they want to sleep with
I
him.
mean,
I don't
give
know.
it-
Maybe you
Yeah,
missed
there you
something.
go. Thank you. Say the quiet part out loud.
Yeah,
They want to bang the rock. Is what
Yeah.
they want to do. They want to mine
Meanwhile,
him.
I don't think this was a Cuban soccer game, so I don't know how they do it differently there. Let's just add
it's
that
different.
name onto it. It's
It's
different
different,
now,
yeah.
so it's fine.
They use a dodgeball instead.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, then the guy shows him.
They have ghost motorcycles.
The FBI agent shows The Rock. He's like, "Hey, your report was right about the EMP." Then proceeds to show him the report on the iPad. I'm like, he gave you that report. Why are you showing? First off, why are you re-showing him? And then why are you showing him in public?
Mhm.
Everybody can see.
Exactly. Your report was right. You see this one, the one you sent me yesterday? Yeah, that was right here. This one's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Mark. Confidential. Yeah, the one that only eyes for like high level security. This one. Yeah.
I have to be in a skiff to read it, but here you go. Like
Exactly. Well, I guess
Hold
we
on.
know why they're not. He's showing them a signal. Look at the report you sent me.
I gotta connect to Starbucks real quick. I'm losing my Wi-Fi signal. 1 second.
Someone
shoot.
told me
I
she
keep-
use a
I keep
VPN, but I don't know what
accidentally
those
adding
letters mean.
people in. Oh shoot.
Well, the other part too is that I don't know if any of you guys caught this. He says he shows up at the soccer game, and the Rock keeps trying to brush him off, saying, "Hey, I'm concentrating on the game." The only reason why he shows up at the soccer game is because he couldn't reach him any other way. Why is The Rock dodging him?
Because Daddy doesn't want to go to work. Daddy's done with work. Daddy does lots of things. Okay, that's Daddy's busy.
Daddy's trying to get fired. Like I don't get like.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is he just
fired.
tries to-
He's already. Was he even working or that's?
He says on the report.
Yeah. Like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I don't. Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out why the guy had to show up at the soccer game, because again, that means that he's not answering his phone, he's not checking like he's just like, "Hey, fuck you, I'm not answering anything." And then the guy shows up and he's like, "All right, I gotta go to work."
I go to radio silent for my daughter's soccer games. Okay.
Well, that's
This
what
is
he's
me
implying,
time.
but I'm like,
Yeah.
I believe they call it work-life balance. So
Oh.
but
What's that
again,
like?
you just showed the guy that there's a level 4 weapon of mass destruction. You gave him the report on this, meaning that you know what's out there, that someone could
Yeah.
use it at any moment. And you're like, "Fuck you, I'm going off the grid. I'm
Yeah.
going to go to the soccer game."
yeah, because it's my day off.
Yeah.
You got any other agents?
Yeah.
You got nobody else?
Yeah.
Am I the only one?
Yeah. If a manager calls me and they're like, "Hey, we need someone to cover this shift," we were 2 servers down. That sounds like a you problem to me.
Mhm.
Like that sounds like I'm not answering my
See,
phone.
and you know what? I would totally understand that. But if your manager came to you and said, "Hey, if you don't show up, not only is the restaurant going to explode, it's going to take out half a block. We kind of need you to come back here, kid." And you're just like, "You know what? That sounds like a you problem."
Hey, I
What?
live 2 blocks away from work,
I mean,
so
okay, so
Okay.
technically he's a manager, so it's a workforce problem. Like he should have someone else to backfill,
Yes.
right? Like that isn't.
Well, okay, how about this? What if
what did you
Ken,
just call
what
the
if Ken-
regional now?
what
Yeah.
if Ken pointed out the gas leak and was like, "Hey, I know there's a giant gas leak that could take out half the city block," and they're like, "Hey, Ken, could you come in and help us fix it?" Ken's like, "Hey, not my day. I don't give a shit. I won't have a job tomorrow.
Wait,
but I don't give a shit."
So you want to wait for me to get over there when you could just have somebody there right now that's already on call? What
Yeah,
magic
exactly.
powers do I have to fix this gas leak?
I guess.
Am I the only one who understands the concept? Is that
I'm
it?
just trying to
Like,
figure out why The Rock was dodging his work. That's all. Only to then because his daughter comes running over and she's like, "Oh, Daddy's got to go to work." And he gives her like, "Oh yeah, I kind of do." I'm like, you could have just been like, "You know what? I'm not going. I'll go later after the game. Get the fuck out of here." But he eventually folds. I'm like, I don't get that. Did he just dodge so he can do his dance?
yeah.
It's like, "Hey, Daddy's got to dance, then I'll go."
Yeah.
Oh, so wait. What if he's just there for the single moms? He's like, no.
Oh, no.
This is me time. Like, yeah, my daughter gets to do her little haka and stuff, but then
I think
after
that's
the game,
I think that's what it is.
after
I
the
think
party, it's the after party, and
Yeah.
then it's the
and
hotel
then
lobby.
The moms come up to him and he's like, "Daddy's got to go to work," and then it's a whole other movie.
It's a very different movie.
So
He is
you
fast
think-
and furious, but in a different way.
another spinoff.
No,
Another
no, slow and sensual. All right, how dare you? How dare you? So then now I think he looked over at the single moms, realized he had already been with each of them, and then like, you know what? Yeah, I'll save the world. It's fine.
There's
Nothing new here,
no
I
one
like
new
that.
here.
I like that idea. Well, we fast forward to the 23-minute mark now. Finally,
Woo!
And this is after they've gotten the weapon of mass destruction, the EMP, and they're driving away.
Yeah.
And
we cut right in the middle of this mission. Just like there's no
Yeah.
like it's
They come
there's
bursting
no
out of a wall.
pre-planning. Everyone's on board. There's not like anyone like we didn't call Brian, of course, but no, like we just got everyone already assembled. Everyone's in the middle of the mission. We just cut right into the thick of it.
No Roman trying to make a witty comment about why this can't be done. Like, yeah,
He'll have his moment. He'll have his.
he
moment.
has his witty comment literally 30 seconds after they break through the wall. And so they're driving. Then Dom's like, "Hey, everyone, meet me, back at the safe house or whatever, and I'll see you guys there later." It's Hobbs and Dom driving together, and Hobbs is saying, "Hey, when we get back, beer's on me." This is obviously when Vin Diesel decides to like turn on everybody, rams Hobbs' car off the road, and then Hobbs is like, on the side, the car's on the side, and Hobbs is pinned down. He then, then gets out of the car, takes the EMP, puts it in his car, and Hobbs is telling him like, "Hey, you don't have to go through with this. At this point, you can turn back around. We can fix out whatever it is you're doing." As soon as he gets in the car, he's like, "All right, well, from this point on, there's no turning back." My question was, what happens if Hobbs recovers, doesn't go off the side of the road, or isn't pinned down? Like, did they fight to the death?
Yes,
probably.
Okay.
Yeah,
because he's good with killing him. Like not Letty, but like he'll like no. I'll take out Hobbs. That's fine.
Yeah, and like Vin Diesel and The Rock fight to the death at that point. That's
But well, I mean,
you can really tell like never on the screen together. Oh,
yes,
separate. Like
it's the battle of the contracts. Like,
yeah,
see who goes down first.
My contract's bigger. I felt like that plan wasn't as foolproof as it eventually became. Like it seemed like he lucked into that because again, if he has to fight Hobbs to the death, like that just makes him a bad guy at this point. There is no turning back for him.
I mean, there's no turning back. If you killed Han, maybe I could. You were just gonna. Well,
if you made it look like you killed Han, if he actually kills Hobbs, there is no turning back.
Hey, I mean, later on, he does end up killing Shaw. So, like, there's like, what do we do? Like,
he doesn't kill Shaw.
Hey! Spoiler alert!
Spoilers. Okay, so watch the movie.
I'm saying, but what
we're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
We're still only like 30 minutes into the movie, guys.
Just say
this movie is 2.5 hours long.
Jay, welcome to the pod for the first time. This is how it goes.
Great, perfect.
I'm excited to have you on for Fast 8 Part 2.
I hope you texted your wife. Daddy's gonna go to work, and then you just go radio silent for the next 8 days.
Ironically, I did in fact text her while we were on this. Not that. I'm definitely doing that.
Hold on, you send her a regular text or a Cuban text?
I sent her a Cuban text.
Yeah. She knows how long it's going to be.
And then in a group chat, she got another text saying, "Jay just went rogue," and just like, oh.
I see. That's what he says in the car. He's like, "I've seen that look before in his eyes. He's gone rogue." I'm like, when the fuck has he ever looked like that? When has he ever gone rogue?
When they stole the money in Brazil, like there's a moment when they were like, "Oh no, we're working together," and that he went rogue enough that they're like, "Oh, we'll leave the safe with you." It's like it turns out, oh, actually, we kept all the money, so welcome to Miami.
He went rogue with Brian.
Yeah, he went rogue with Brian. They all went rogue together.
Yeah,
but The Rock didn't see that look.
He sent him a photo. Like he had a flip phone, pulled it out. He did it.
This is my rogue look. How's it look?
Roman, who's a snitch, was like, "Hey, you ever see this look?" He's going rogue.
He's going rogue.
I just got added to a signal chat. What is this from Roman?
He just posts up like a chart of all of Dom's looks. It's like slight eyebrow quirk. Like this is the one where he goes rogue.
Like Family Guy chart where like the different skin colors. These are the different Dom looks. Slightly raised eyebrow, slightly raised higher. Now you know you're fucked.
Rogue.
Yep.
There's like a measuring stick next to his eyebrow. That's just like once you're past this
rogue.
Rogue.
Oh, The Rock was so pissed it was based on the eyebrow too. That's what started the fight.
We figured it out.
That's my thing. Some bitch.
Yeah, he definitely called him some bitch at least 7 times.
All right. So now Mr. Nobody and Mr. Little Nobody show up to talk to The Rock after he's been arraigned. I'm like, why did you wait till he was arraigned to talk to him?
there is so much of this movie that like things just get butt up against each other, and I'm like, how much time has transpired since that to this?
Exactly.
And then we just cut to like I think we cut to the team like reconciling after the fact, and then we go like okay, well, how long after that was that? And then suddenly The Rock is already in an orange jumpsuit, getting walked into the facility, and they're like, let's talk to him real quick. And then so Mr. Nobody shows up with Sam Worthington, or I'm sorry, Jai Cordy. I'm sorry, Glenn Powell. I'm sorry.
Still Rock.
Eastwood.
Gotta get more,
my bad.
Yeah, you gotta go more generic.
Yeah, I was just like
bottom of the barrel generic.
Yeah, just everyone's the same in my head. But like, of course, they find a spot for Scott Eastwood in 2017. We said
2017.
Yeah. So sure, he's Little Nobody, which gets named later on. But yeah, because we have no other name.
I just started. Yeah, again, to Kid's point, I'm like, how much time has gone by, and then also, why did you wait to talk to him at that point? Like, I don't get. You could have saved him a lot of this trouble. Could have saved yourself a lot of time as well.
Too busy drinking Belgian beers in his storage unit. Like, he just didn't have the time.
Well, then The Rock picks up Mr. Little Nobody sideways, and he's like, got one hand on his throat. I'm like, where? That means your other hand's on his crotch somewhere, right? Is that where we're? That's the logistics of this. It's the only way you get leverage for that kind of thing.
That's how he knows to call him Little Nobody.
That's where the nickname was born. Boom.
Baby dick.
He didn't call him mid-size nobody. He said
Mr. Nothing down there. Well, that's pretty.
Like, wow, there's like no grip down here,
fucking
man. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to move you?
Hey,
hold the goddamn Ken doll up here. So The Rock walks in, and then as soon as he walks in, he's getting met by Jason Statham, and he looks shocked. And I'm like, didn't you put him there, or you put him in a prison? That's why he's shocked.
This is where I'm like, this is our Cabal moment. This is where you go by Johnny Tran and you go by everyone else that they put away inside this facility.
That was pretty dope.
It's just Arkham.
It's Arkham.
Yeah,
it's the Arkham.
It would have just been the Arkham for the
truck drivers in there don't know why they're in there.
Full on, just still have their trucker hats over the.
I was one fucking robbed. I was robbed.
Their trucks are there too. Like they're in the truck inside a giant set.
So you know it's them. Yeah.
What's in that big cell over there? Oh, that's the truck drivers. And why is it so
nobody
big?
fucks with them.
Nobody fucks with them. They got
I
trucks.
like Johnny Tran for like stealing DVDs or whatever he did, like in prison still. To this day.
Well, and like Supermax.
He didn't even steal them.
This isn't even regular prison. This is Supermax German prison.
Yeah.
I guess he killed Jesse. I guess they get to say he killed Jesse, right? That's what he's in prison.
Well, not if Jesse's leading the Cabal.
As far as they know, as far as Mr. Nobody knows, also Jesse potentially could have been Mr. Nobody's son in one of our drafts. So we'll just say that.
This has all been a setup.
Yep.
He's sending Dom on all these missions hoping he die.
Yep.
I swear the reveal of the Cabal is just going to be a flashback sequence with just scenes that are cut from every movie.
Pretty much.
I mean, or I mean,
that anyway. So.
That's true. Yeah.
I haven't seen the next movie, so I don't know if.
But then we'll play the music from the Usual Suspects, though, as we're going through all the flashbacks.
Yeah, and I haven't seen the next two, so I don't know if Jesse is related to Cipher, because. Like, if he's going to MIT or something, then maybe he's like, oh, my big sister, she taught me a bunch of stuff. And that's how we got there.
I learned how to hack.
That's why from the start.
Why is your hair braided, Jesse?
Yeah.
It's a family trait. Family.
Family. Because he was so good at the computer on the car maker. Sorry, Ken, go ahead.
No, it just makes total sense because she's like, you took down two of my teams, and they just cut the part like, and you got my little brother killed.
There,
this is such a better movie we're writing than what they're making.
Well, yeah, because we still got this one where Jason Statham, again, I asked the question, was he left in this prison or did he break out somehow, get caught, and then wind up in the German prison?
I assume nobody
from the last
put
movie
him there for this breakout.
Then why was he shocked when he saw Jason Statham there?
He probably didn't know. Nobody did it.
Remember, at the end of the last movie, he walks out saying, like, get used to being in this prison because you're going to be here a while. And if you get out, I'll be here to meet you.
If I'm writing I have Mr. Nobody. I'm Mr. Nobody, and I have him transferred to this one so I can break them out together because I want them both for my new crew.
No. I mean, that is exactly what happens. My question is to The Rock, though. Like, he should be more concerned that this guy's in, like, he'd be like, how the fuck did you get here? What happened between the time I locked you in the cell with like your cuffs still on under the ground in whatever facility I had you in. How are you in this prison? Like I got questions.
He shouldn't, because he already knows Mr. Nobody can get people wherever he wants, and like to
Well, he
the
could
point
also
that
get-
later on,
He says he's like, I can get them out as well. Well, while the Rock's in there, he decides he's going to spend his time, instead of figuring out a way to get out of prison, he's just going to punch the wall. I'm like, what are you, Silverback? What the fuck are you doing?
he punches the wall, but I don't think they thought about it, because it's like it's a vinyl veneer or something like that, because it's vibrating as he punches it. And I'm like, if it's just a stone, if it's just a concrete wall, he's blooding his knuckles up or whatnot. But like, you shouldn't show the wall vibrating, because that's just bad, like visual effects for me. I'm like, I can see the wall vibrating, so it's not. But also, he's also ripping out concrete beds that are there. They just have concrete beds.
That was either bed or like a shelf of some sort. Like he just rips it off the wall or something. He starts curling it. I'm like, what is your plan, Rock?
But is the wall as flimsy, or he's so strong, this impenetrable glass and steel, he can make vibrate with his massive punches?
Oh yeah, it's he's superhuman. That's fine.
He wrote that section. He's like, hey, if you can Street Fighter a car, I'm gonna Street Fighter this room, start tearing it apart.
That was definitely a rewrite where he's like, excuse me, you let him Street Fighter a car? Okay, fine. I'm gonna pull apart this concrete bed. That's in my scene now.
And this is where we get the witty back and forth banter between the two of them that goes on to make its own movie. But Mr. Nobody opens the gate, and the Rock yells at the camera like, "Hey, I'll get out my way," which apparently his way is just punch his way out. I don't know what his plan was. But then
Rock was like, "I'm gonna do the time essentially until I can get rightfully exonerated." Yeah. Like he's like, "No, like it's."
But he also didn't seem like he was worried that Dom has an EMP and turned on everybody. Like because
for all of this movie, we have no idea how much time passes in between scenes. Like the next scene that we get to is just like 10 minutes after the last one, and the next one's 10 minutes after that, as far as I know, because they don't give you any context.
Exactly.
I do have a question, since The Rock is so unconcerned. Who's watching his daughter?
Oh, his no, they covered that at one point, because
it's all the singer soccer moms.
Yeah.
His harem.
No, I mean, we do get that.
Harem.
I mean, this jumping forward, Mr. Nobody
that's right.
Somebody.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
Oh,
I do like the idea that the harem of soccer moms are watching.
I like that. He's got to come home someday.
That is like the slice of life anime I did not know I needed to watch. It's just like in the corner, just like doing hakas, and they're like, "God, she's adorable."
This is the weirdest Tenchi Muyo remake I've ever seen in my life.
Perfect. Get ourselves a crazy Ryoko in there.
Yes, perfect.
So then Jason Statham, because The Rock is lollygagging with the guards, and he's telling them, "Hey, I didn't open the door," and they're starting to like tell him to calm down. Jason Statham finds an opportunity to like electrocute one of the guards with their own baton and escapes. The Rock then tells them, The Rock then tells the guards, "Don't let him go," while simultaneously electrocuting them. Like there's a screenshot, and I will share it here on the pod. He takes the guard's little baton thing, puts it to his neck, and says, "Don't let him go." I'm like, what are you doing? You're stopping the guys that could stop him.
He does initially say, like, first they like, "Get back in the cell." That's like that, and he's at the door kind of, but he's not out of the cell. He's like, but I mean, things are clearly like we need prison correction clearly, but they're like, he backs into the cell, and they're like, "Get back." He's like, "I did," and that's when the whole thing transpires. So like he tells him at least twice, like, "Stop him," and then he's like, "You're not listening. I'll just shock the crap out of you."
That's my point, though. It's like if your plan was to like do the time and be a model inmate, why are you assaulting them? Like, let them go do their job. Even if they're not listening to you right at this moment, that doesn't mean you assault them to go then get Jason's thing. Because what's your plan? I brought him back to you. It's like, yeah, but you kicked our ass to do it.
Sound like someone wants to stand beside the thin gray line, is what I'm hearing. By the way, folks, that is the thing. The correctional facility institution is known as the gray line. For anyone who's curious, yes, that is. I feel
like that's not thin at all. That's a very thick line. We know what these guys do.
There's a little green line behind it that's funding. Yeah, that just like thickens it up.
Yeah,
little green, little. Come on.
Yeah, that's fair. It's more of like a green cube with like a gray stripe on the outside of it.
And
fair enough.
It's actually a bunch of green dots, and it's a gray Pac-Man.
Oh.
eating them. So.
Just getting bigger and then like
Yes.
keeping other ghosts at bay. Ghost of-
Well, then we get our cool prison break scene, which again, I'm trying to figure out how The Rock's gonna explain like whooping the shit out of all these guards. Even after he catches Jason Statham's like, hey, I got him. We're both gonna do our time. It's like, yeah, you're gonna do even more time because you beat the shit out of us. But anyway, he goes chasing after him, and then we
None
get
of that's gonna matter. Like we all know, it just all gets wiped away at one point or another because
that's
magic
but at
movies.
as it's happening, you got to be running that through your head. We get random spit guy. Now, do any of you guys recognize this fucking dude? This is
Tormund
the big white
Greyjoy?
dude.
Or
no,
oh,
Tormund
no.
shows up later. No, this is a random inmate who is looks like Pat but bald. He spits for no reason. It's like I've been waiting a long time for this, and then The Rock kills him.
Kills him. Hold on.
Because the guy has a shank, and The Rock stabs him in the chest with it. And it's like, keep waiting, and then throws him away. And I'm like, you just killed a dude.
They killed all the people with the wrecking ball too, though. Like I had the note and we skipped it, but like there are so many people dead from that wrecking ball, and like these are potentially also depending on where you stole that EMP from, they're potentially police or not, and we're just like, no, wrecking ball done. We're all good.
Yeah. Exactly.
They are responsible for more deaths at this point than like half the supervillains in comic movies. Like they killed. How many people are still dead in Brazil? Like that is their 9/11. Yeah. There is memorial every year. Like remember when half the city was leveled?
They have shirts like that say "Never Forget."
Yeah. There's just 2 bank vaults.
Yep.
That second vault showed up. Knew we were done.
Oh my god.
Then we get to the meeting where Little Nobody's giving his presentation, and I believe I had to cut in this section because it felt ironic to me. Maybe I just interpreted it wrong, but they're talking about how at Adept Cipher is hiding herself, and they're saying that she has no digital footprint while staying next to a digital picture of her, and I'm like, how did this work? How exactly you got a picture of
picture? It's not a footprint.
Also, so in my notes, I have again say it says how long has transpired with several question marks and exclamation points, because
we'll never know.
At some point in this story, Dom goes rogue, brings the EMP back to Cipher by driving on a runway and driving up into a car like we saw in the last
200 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, he drives in the back of this plane at 200 miles an hour and then comes to a dead stop, and I'm like, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so there's that, and then that's when we see Tormund and stuff like that. But that's where I'm just like, how much time to transpire then? Because then we cut to the next one, and they go back and forth between so many things, and I'm just like, the amount of time that we see between all this, and I'm just it's wild.
Well, because that's it. Yeah, because at this point, Little Nobody has the crew arrested, right? Basically, because he gathers up everybody.
I don't. Because we're going back. Well, because they capture the 2 of them outside of the prison, and then essentially they're going to take them back to that place. My notes then also jump to when maybe this is where I get a bit mixed up, is because then maybe this is when he drives onto the plane, or he drove on the plane, but then that's one thing that makes this doesn't make a lot of sense. Is we see him drive onto the plane when he gets EMP, then they cut to the whole Hobbs and Shaw, or all that stuff running down, and they cut back to Cipher's plane, and Dom's walking around like he's never been here. I'm like, you've clearly been on this plane for the last 2 days, however long it took to arrest Hobbs, put him through processing, give him an orange jumpsuit, put him into the facility, and him to break out. All this time had to transpire, and you're just like, what's in this plane? I don't know what's going on around here. Why is Tormund Greyjoy here? Or not Greyjoy, but whatever his name is.
He just sat there moping the first
Brooding.
2 days,
just motionless,
just being really sad. Yeah,
just going.
Saw that picture of him in a man apart, and I'm just going to do that.
I wonder if Cipher is sitting across from me. Is he still rogue? I can't tell. Has he changed?
Yeah.
It looks like he's changed a little.
Can't see his face. His hands are over his head.
Is he less rogue now?
Pulls out a measuring stick, puts it to his forehead.
Oh, he's still rogue.
He's still rogue. Shoot.
Can't be trusted.
Back away slowly. So then I get, as he's giving the presentation, this is where we get the screenshots of his, I guess, what is it called? Identity profile. These things are beautiful. Do you guys remember the identity profiles from the last movie but they had just some like generic stuff about like the location people were at, and they were kind of redundant.
Mm-hmm.
This one I had to note was that it says that he's a scar on his left shoulder. And I'm like, we've seen Dom sleeveless in every movie, not a single scar. What the fuck are they looking at? And how old is this profile? Second off, it then says hair color, dark. Dark what? What's the fuck
eyebrows?
you mean?
It's just his
Dark.
eyebrows.
Just
Dark eyebrows.
but at least they said, I think it was like black last time. Last time we got one of these profiles. And then it says profession, mechanic. I was like, Dom hasn't been a mechanic in at least 10 years.
But technically, the last job he
That
had
was-
that he filed taxes for.
Is
mechanic.
Dom filing taxes while he's stealing VCRs and shit?
Yeah, that's a scam.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a bit of a back and forth here, and I want to jump back to because when they're on the plane, also with Cipher, I have one note that says, "Oh God, I lost my spot." Oh, because Cipher asked like, "Oh, why did you stop Fernando like that, or why did you not take his car?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh no, I changed him." I'm like, in my head too. I'm like, he tried to get you killed at one point, and you're good with him surviving, and you didn't take his car when your cousin needed a car, but I changed him as the line that I put in quotations. Also at some
Cipher
point
responds with, "That wasn't your job."
yeah. But then there's also a part where it says, "Beat your ass like a Cherokee drum." I don't know who said that.
The Rock said it to Jason Statham. He's like, "Oh,
Jason Statham?
when we get out of here," because he was like,
Okay.
"Oh, you think all those muscles you got are gonna help you go up against me?" He's like, "Oh,
Like,
if we
so
ever
this
get
is-
out of here."
This is back during the breakdown when they
Yeah.
walk in and like we clearly have our two, Hobbs and Shaw walking in and they're free, and all of our family here is in handcuffs because of little nobody.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the two criminals you just busted out walking free.
Yeah. Yeah.
The non-criminals are handcuffed. It's because they're minorities. Can't trust them.
That's a real loose use of the term non-criminals. I don't know if you've seen their history, but
Oh, look at Pat. Pat goes straight for the minorities. Oh, you're real loosey-goosey with the
Knew it.
criminal term. They're all criminals in my
I
eyes.
just want to build a wall around them.
They can live freely in their wall.
In the walls. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I also got the identity profile because they show Owen Shaw on there, and they say under scars because Dom at the left under scars says facial burns. I'm like, that's just fucking rude. That's just a reminder that his ass got fucked up in the last movie. But his hair color, black. I'm like, why is this shit dark?
It's in Vin's writer. You can't define his hair color.
Why don't they just say none?
It's ephemeral.
NA. Motherfucker's
What, you're
got no
saying
hair.
he's bald by
That's
not choice?
Does he have alopecia? Are you making a G.I. Jane joke?
Sorry,
Keep-
my bad.
Dom's mouth out your
Out
mother.
your
No.
Yes. Keep Don's mouth
Out your
out
mouth.
your name.
We then get to the use that they're finally talking about. Oh, you know what? Here's a brilliant idea. How about we just use God's eye to find out where Dom's at? Because we don't know he's.
That is a good idea.
He
Thank
says
you.
that's a good idea, and then they let Tej start running the computer for it. I'm like, why would you let Tej run the computer? Don't you have
Performance,
well,
showmanship.
Two things. You should have somebody who knows how to operate it working for you already. Two, Ramsey's right there. She created the shit.
That's her program.
Yeah. Why the fuck is Tej running it?
'Cause
And
he
then we
has
get
a
Mr.
penis.
Nobody saying, hey, because Tej is like, hey, they have some kind of like splitter that's like, putting a bunch of different spots all over. They've tricked us. And he's like, yeah, we thought about that. And I'm like, so you these fuckers just run the God's eye for no fucking reason?
Also, isn't that the point of God's eye? That you can't trick it?
Yeah.
That you
Yeah.
would have thought so. But Cypher's that good.
But Ramsey's just that much better because she's like, well, actually, we could run we can do trace
A
buster
trace
bust,
buster buster.
trace buster buster.
Busting my trace and I'll be busting yours. Then we get Mr. Nobody being, and I said this in my quotes, too quirky for his own good. Because he then looks at the map when they finally identify it and it's like, oh, that's interesting. And everyone's like, why? First off, little Mr. Nobody should know exactly why, because that's their
Mhm.
base. He's like, that's this place. And then everything goes to shit. And I'm like, why didn't you say, hey, we're about to be a fucking attack? He's sitting there looking.
Yeah, there's no like
fucking funny and
DEFCON
with a-
button.
Yeah, works with a smirk on his face, like, oh, it'll be fun when she blows up this place and takes their shit from us. Also, where's your security? Because it wasn't like they dropped in. She comes walking in from a different room. I'm like, you should have had security all along that way. Nothing.
No, they just nothing. She'd already blown. She
and there's two of them.
Through all of those
it wasn't like she came in with
security.
like 20 people. Just her and Dom came walking in.
That's all you need. Dom. Once Dom goes rogue, but more, you don't even need Torment anymore. You got Dom. But
also, when Dom goes rogue, he apparently wears sleeves. Every time Dom does a bad thing in this movie, he's got sleeves on.
Evil Dom.
Evil
that's
Dom
how
is...
you know he's evil.
Oh my god.
That's how.
Dude, what?
Because he can't grow his hair out, so you give him sleeves.
Is that like his way of like donning extra clothing in shame, right? Like he's so ashamed of himself that he has to add sleeves. Like,
well, these are justice arms.
Justice arms.
Show these arms right now.
And then I wish we had a moment later on, like once when he finally, if hypothetically in the movie he gets to go unraveling, he just rips them off. He's like, oh, back on the job. Daddy's got to go to work. And then someone runs in. That's not the line.
Actively upset.
Yeah. Well, then we get the scene where Charlize comes in, and Dom hasn't said a word. And, Michelle Rodriguez trying to pander his thoughts or whatever. And mind you, he's standing there looking like he's fucking mind controlled, while Charlize kisses him twice.
Let's also do this. Like she comes in, they hit him with these fancy new grenades. I think The Rock because he catches it and then throws it because he's just that good.
He's that good.
Cipher's then describing these are new grenades. They scramble your senses. So why are you monologuing to these people if hypothetically they cannot hear or see you? Like, what are you doing? You're like, this scrambles you. Wait, hold on. This scrambles your senses.
Can you see me when I say this to you? Put up fingers.
It's like flashbanging a room before you give a presentation. It's just like no one's gonna get this.
Oh,
that's how I start
first time when he slides.
Flashbangs blind you. You didn't know that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, that is very, you're right. It's a good point. But then, like I said, Michelle Rodriguez is like, hey, or Letty's like, Dom. He looks at her, doesn't say a word, stone cold face. Then Charlize goes in for a kiss. Doesn't he's thrown off by hey, whoa, what the fuck? He goes in for it too. She kisses him again, and then they both walk out. And I'm like, again, Dom's not mind controlled. Why
Body's
the fuck
not
does he
even
go for the
cold,
kiss?
and they even replace you, Dom.
Based on the rules of the movie that are established, that means at one point Cipher said, "Hey, when we go in there, I'm gonna."
Well, that's my question. I'm like, was this scripted?
It.
Was this rehearsed? Did they all right? Let's try it again. I want her to hurt. So I need you to go in. I need you to lean more.
You wanted the monologue.
We're doing 70-30. I need 50-50.
No, and he's like, no, I saw the movie. You go 90, I come 10. You don't go the full 100. No, just different movies. Okay, fine, fair.
Well, this also plays into the let's get rid of Letty thing, because I feel like Dom has to do it every movie, and I'm like, again, you could have been as soon as she walks in and be like, oh, hey, I agreed to still shit with you. This whole kissing shit that wasn't explained, that wasn't talked about. But he just goes with it and then walks out.
I saw Pretty Woman. I don't kiss, okay?
There you go.
Tying that movie in too.
And then the kiss is never explained later, because Dom goes back on the plane pissed off and is like, hey, why'd you do that? Was that for you? Was that for her? And she's like, it's just a choice. And I'm like, but for what? What
acting? It's a choice.
Yes.
She could not seem more bored in this entire movie.
Well, that was my question though. It's like,
check cleared, great.
But I wonder if it's because either the writer or directors didn't give her clear direction of you're attracted to him or you're not, because she plays on this line back and forth. Because
the script kept getting changed whenever Dom got his hands on. He's like, she's very attracted to Dom. He's the best person in the room. He really loves Die Hard, so he's going to shoot the glass for no reason whatsoever in the scene.
And then on the side, there's notes. Also, she's attracted to The Rock in The Rock's handwriting. Just want to add that in there.
I'm just picturing
no. The better part is it's crossed out. It says she ain't attracted to that some bitch.
Great.
Jay, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was just picturing it in two different colors of crayon, just like
a blue crayon crossing out the red crayon.
Yeah. Right across the script.
Perfect.
Oh,
little stains of spaghetti on there.
Exactly.
I think it's a kid's menu. No. A little
And
tic-tac-toe
In-N-Out.
game on there.
Because The Rock happened to be having In-N-Out for the first time in his entire life when he was reading the script.
What's his cheat day?
Yeah.
Cheat day.
Well, but even then, it's just like 25 Flying Dutchmen, which are delicious, by the way.
Yeah,
But yes,
those are.
just patty meat, patty cheese, patty meat, patty cheese.
I like that. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
At 50 minutes in, we get the reveal that what's her name is still alive. What is her name? I call
Elena.
her Thor's wife.
Elsa?
Elsa.
That's the
Elena.
actress. That's the actress name. Yeah,
Elena.
Is
yeah.
the character's name. And my question is, she says that she was going to tell Dom that she was pregnant, but then she got kidnapped. So I'm like, you've been here for over a year in this airplane?
No. Well, I mean, hypothetically, but also too, again, to the idea that we have no idea how much time has transpired. He's been on this plane for how long? And we still never saw the video clip or whatever Cipher showed him to get him to start Breaking Bad. Did he and like he seemed surprised by the child? So did he
Yes.
just break bad for just Elena or for Elena and his child? Because you would think that it'd have to be the baby too, right? Like for him to
Yeah.
Well, you
Full on
think
go
that
get
he'd
the
want to
family?
see them immediately.
Right.
Right, exactly, not be on the plane for in an indiscriminate amount of time where he's doing missions and going out and doing things, and he's just like, at one point, do I get to go see my potential wife lady
Yeah,
thing?
How do I make
I
sure that
don't
this
know.
is real? Show me proof of life.
Exactly. But just this is the first time they're meeting, and hypothetically, the first time he's even seen the child. Like,
Yeah.
he's surprised. The look on his face, his acting is that I've never seen this baby before, even in a photo. Like he's just like, oh, a baby. How did that get here?
What is this?
This isn't a
So no one
full-grown
had to
child.
talk
I
to
can't pick them up.
It's kind of like those Cuban small humans we saw
Yeah.
on the honeymoon.
Small human. Great. But smaller. Is it a Cuban-human? Like what is
Oh.
Cuban.
It's a double Cuban-human.
I don't know what to do with this. It's like a double negative. This kid ain't even real.
Oh, there is a moment apparently after the raid because I did have in there obligatory. We can't call Brian moment. They have to make sure that
Oh,
they
yeah.
say that after the attack. We can't call Brian.
Well, because
I mean,
I mean,
I know you
Roman's
can't.
like, Brian would know what
Yeah.
to do, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, he wouldn't. He really wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like,
No one's ever seen Dom do this before.
yeah. So,
Even
but I just
Brian.
thought, I know it had to be in there, but it was also kind of like feels like you could have found a better time to say that, like earlier or something like that. You know, oh, Brian and her. I don't know.
You could have not. You could have not. All it would have led is at one point somebody asked, "Oh, they never even mentioned Brian," and then that would have been it. Been the
Well, 'cause,
entire.
Yeah.
We do get a Brian nod at the very end too. So there's that.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah. Makes it even weirder.
mhm.
When
Also,
we get there.
Sure. Yeah.
'Cause
I don't
would
know
he
if
be
you guys
there?
noticed this, but I have it in the screenshot where Dom is talking to Elena. And again, we don't know if she gave birth on this plane. Presumably she did because she said she was kidnapped. But now she says that she took both of us. So I'm assuming she meant her with the kid in her belly, not like post. I mean, it's very confusing. But she's been on this plane with this kid for a while. She's crying. Dom is attempting to cry. And I question in my notes CGI tears because those shits don't look real. And I don't know if you guys noticed that either. And I'm like, and it shows it going down his face. I'm like, that doesn't no. And could Dom just not muster up a cry? Like Vin Diesel just say, put some Vaseline under my eyes and a little couple drops or whatever. Like nothing.
Well,
No, I mean,
it
they-
could be in this contract, right? I just never cry. Just fix it in post. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
Instead of me
what if
crying,
we
let
see
me punch or something.
man to cry.
what if we say off camera, rock, tree, and he's just like he just starts just bawling. No, just super bad. Like no, he just doesn't have anything, nothing in him.
I thought you were going with like Winter Soldier, where they would like give him a set of
No, I
commands
went
to make him cry.
Iron Giant.
I like that. Yeah.
a Dom like red book. that
Yeah.
is-
You got to stay a sequence of words in a certain order, and you'll start crying.
Oh yeah, no, that is just Vaseline they put right before they started.
Yeah.
filming. Like that
Well,
is.
And then I also had a note that she says she calls him Marcos, right? And she's like, I think his dad should give him a name. I'm like, why are you giving this fucker respect? He left you.
Yes, that's in my
it's-
notes too.
No,
It's like
no.
I thought his
she-
father should. I was saying,
go
she
ahead.
says, I thought his father should give him his first name. I'm like, so wait, so then hypothetically, okay, in that case, did you give birth on this plane? So there's no documentation. So he's not like
Yeah.
on his birth record, it would say blank Marcos
Yeah.
Atlanta's child,
Yeah.
like whatever her last name
Atlanta's
is, or is he a
child.
Toretto? Like, I don't know what would be said on the paperwork. That's a question in my head. But hypothetically, if she's been sequestered on this plane for all of the child's life ever since, she's like, oh, I was going to tell you at the end of the last movie, but then I never got the chance. I'm like, wait, so then you've just been a prisoner for all this time? It's so
But also,
unclear.
isn't it the time between her at the last movie and the last time her and Dom got together? It'd been a while too. Like, he would have had to have cheated on Letty in order to get her pregnant before she goes on this plane.
Someone had said, I was watching a couple other videos. Someone had said, hypothetically, was Elena pregnant when they went out the window during the attack from Shaw in the previous movie? Like, timeline wise, wouldn't she have to have been carrying his child at that point?
At the latest.
Because
again, it also shows that he left whatever time he left her, and he immediately went back to Letty. And I'm like, even if she were like, hey, this is, your kid, you left me, and presumably this kid, because you had no idea, to roll back to your ex who you now know is alive. But I'm going to give you the honor of naming the kid.
Well, no, she does she is like, oh, I understand. Letty's your one true love. Like, that is the vibe that she is giving off. Like, the most understanding human being on the planet.
Right.
You had to go back to Letty. That's why I didn't tell you about the kid, because I didn't want to mess up your life. It's cool.
Because this kid's not gonna mess up mine at all.
So
don't inconvenience.
Oh yeah.
Down.
By the way, kid, 9 months old. I just call him kid. Like dinosaurs.
I didn't really want him. I was hoping you might.
And he's seeing Dom and calling him Dada. Like, he's like, so did she have a photo and be like, this is your dad every day? This is your dad. Like, just so
every bald man that kid's seen.
Yeah.
Dad.
It's a good thing Tormund's got that thick flowing red hair. No mistake in there.
And
then we get to the 53-minute mark where Charlize comes walking in. Now again, she comes in with this weird affect where she's kind of looks like she's scored a drug, but kind of not, and she's kind of talking slow and rolling her eyes and really taking in the moment, really chewing up the scene. And she tells Dom that here's a gun, you have a choice, you can shoot me, and if you do, then guys are supposed to come in here and kill your wife or kill your kid or whatever. You can try to shoot your way out. Choice is up to you. And Dom's like, if I try to, you have a double fail safe or something like that. There's no way I can get into the room. I'm like, if I were Dom, I mean, there's no guarantee that she's gonna let you or the kid leave after all these missions anyway. Why not shoot her and Tormund and try and shoot your way out? Mm-hmm. You could then call up Tej or Mr. Nobody and be like, hey, can someone help me get my wife out of this fucking case? Because it's not airtight. It's not like she's running out of time. She can stay in that room for presumably more than a year.
And since we have no concept of time, the plane never lands. It never has to refuel. But also, that's in my notes, is just yes, pulls trigger and just let's just start that movie there. This is where it's gonna go down. But then also that leads into my other question of the things of, we don't know how much time has transpired, but he's had enough time to realize that this is set up with a dual key system for nuclear codes.
Yeah. So he's been to this room at least before.
Yeah. And scoped out the entire plane, but not this room. So he's like, no, I know you got a double key switch thingy. I saw the receipts in the trash. What? What?
Well, the room is behind a door, not even a door that covers the entire thing. It's the door that covers that glass box in the middle of the room. He's never been what's behind
in Cipher's
in the middle of the room.
Don't look.
Yeah. It also has very special lighting inside too, so you can have surprise effects happen for later. So
that is true. Where you can pull a baby out of nowhere, out of the dark,
like a ghost. Woo.
I can just imagine them setting up this cube with just dramatic lighting in every direction. We're just okay, on this reveal, hit that light. There's a stage director at the back.
There's just light switches. So she's just got a light switch guy.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, they have all those nerds on computers. That's what they are. They're there for that reason. Get me in that room. Hack it.
Well, I wonder if when she had it built, where the guy's just yeah, this is gonna be a weird sex room. She's got a bed in there. She got some weird lighting, dude. I've never seen her use it, but I mean, this is what we're building. These are the schematics. What the fuck she's gonna do in this room?
But then that also asks the question later on as they're setting things up, is guys, did you see the new room? they put a baby in there. Why is there a baby in the sex room? What is going on here?
Freaky shit. Hey man, I think we gotta land the plane and go.
I just cashed a check, bro.
Epstein
I just cashed a check, man. They got a Cuban baby in there.
No, that's a Cuban small human. It's different.
Oh, that's what she's into. Cuban small human.
Cuban small human.
Oh my goodness.
About 10 seconds later, Dom, decides, hey, I'm not gonna pull the trigger, but instead I'm gonna leave the fucking necklace. And I'm like, oh, god damn it, here's our necklace moment.
Yeah.
And if I were, hold on, and if I were, what's her name? I'd be pissing that thing because nothing good ever happens to her when that necklace shows up.
It's true.
It's
That's
always
fair.
bad news. And he's like, I'm gonna leave this here. I'd be like, no, take your fucking necklace and get the fuck out of here. Let's go rescue our kid.
Oh,
I already have 2 of those. Okay, stop this. This is a waste of
Well,
time.
no,
Why do
she
you
doesn't
keep
because he
ending
keeps
these
taking it from her. He gives it to her and then takes it from her.
But he probably forgets over time. Like he's like, did I
No, he
give you a
remembers to take it
cross?
from her because he's an
Okay,
asshole that way.
it's the only person he remembers to take it from.
Hold on, you got
Right.
one of these? Give me this.
No, no,
He's
this-
so-
And he says
The
this is
harem
for
of
Letty
soccer
as he
moms.
takes it.
What was that, Jay?
The harem of soccer moms all have their own crosses. Like that's their
Yeah.
whole.
No,
They're all just shining in the sun.
The Rock actually gives him Brahma bulls.
Oh, okay.
He's got his
I
own.
just-
He's got his own thing. It's different.
I just hope he whispers to her when he takes it from her every time, like, this is for Letty, not you.
Not you.
Just so she knows.
Would that be like a weird kink thing for her? Like getting cut?
It has to be.
Where it's like this is for Letty, and she's like, ooh. Say it again.
I want to now just see the films from 5 to then, from her perspective of like losing her job, losing him, finding out she's pregnant, trying to put her life back together, getting kidnapped. Like I want that movie.
Oh,
let's
and
do that.
then she eventually, this is a bad movie for her. Bad franchise. About 10 seconds later, we get Dom saying, all right, you wanted to see me, you want to see the old Dom, which I don't know what the fuck that means because is old Dom
Starts stealing DVD players.
yeah, like what the fuck?
It's strictly old Dom, the one who would kill a guy with a wrench. Like that's how far back it's
okay,
old
okay,
Dom.
yeah.
That's
Gotcha.
the inference I got.
Okay, that makes more sense because I'm like, when was the old Dom Rogue Dom? But anyway, he says that,
Yeah.
then proceeds to walk past her, and she closes her eyes as though she's either smelling his man musk, getting wet off of him. I like that's what I'm like. I don't understand like what this attraction is to her or to him because they play it really weird. Like she's like,
On the page in crayon, it's written, "She loves the smell of Dom so much."
okay,
Fade to black.
And,
and
the
then
Rock.
and then again crossed
And
out
The Rock. And the Rock.
and the Rock.
All caps. Larger font.
It doesn't even say rock. It's a drawing of a rock.
Yeah.
Is that a turd? No,
It's a rock.
Well,
it's a rock with eyeballs.
Used a great
Vin
crayon,
Diesel
okay?
actually, Vin Diesel put stink lines on it after.
That's
some fair.
bitch. We get Mr. Nobody now saying, after everyone's finally gained their consciousness and their faculties back, saying, quote, she wiped it. She took it. She took God's eye. And I'm like, yeah, they all heard her monologuing. They were all there in the room when she did it.
He
why are you
was
repeating
the only
this?
one affected by this the special new flashbang that what phrases scrambles all your senses, and I'm still gonna monologue. That's the
Yeah, but I'm like, everyone was awake when she did. Like, it wasn't like she knocked everyone out, and as they were coming to, they're all like, oh, what happened? It's like, no, they all saw her come in and talk for like 5 minutes and then make out and then leave with the thing.
Yeah.
But then they decide, like, hey, you know what? Not only does the God's eye thing not make any sense, we don't even fucking use it because we know where they're going. New York. And I'm like, wait, what was the God's eye thing for?
yeah, because isn't it through back channels that Shaw figures it out? He's like, he's heading to New York. Like he says some stuff and does some
Yeah.
business or whatever.
I'm like,
But
could you have done
is
that
that-
before we got attacked?
But is that before or after? I think isn't that after
That's after.
Dom? Wait, no, but there's the part where Dom is in a car and has a fake out switch
No,
that makes the car suddenly
because in New York is when he meets with Shaw's mom.
Yeah.
right. And so
Mhm.
I figured, and I figured that's how they learned that he was in New York because of the information flow.
Well, then the scene is cut differently because as Scott Eastwood's saying, like, hey, she took everything. Shaw is saying to Mr. Nobody, like, we can go, like, we know where they're headed. which is why the next scene shows like the big wording underneath, like, oh, they're in New York. I'm like, because that means that they're heading to New York, and Eastwood's team is heading to New York, and then the meeting happens after Dom gets to New York.
Stop giving him the respect of a name. It's either Glenn Powell or Little Nobody. That's
Mr.
Little Nobody.
Yeah.
But I'm like, so you did this whole God's Eye thing for nothing.
Yeah. Because you could still find some way to track him. You have like, you know, Little Brother's Eye, whatever system you're using to try and track him down.
I like that one better.
Cuban Eye.
Yeah. Cuban Eye. They just needed the non-union Spanish equivalent, and that's Cuban Eye.
Well, then the next thing we have is them coming out of a like a fishing truck into a fishing market area to go to their like secret hideout where all the cars are at. I'm like, why are they hiding? Why are they sneaking around in trucks? Aren't they the good guys?
Well, they're the good guys, but they're like we said, they're FBI, CIA, NCIS. They are they're the nothing corp, whatever.
And technically, have they already been cleared from stealing the EMP? Because I thought part of it was, you know what? That's a dumb question. None of this matters. It's fine. Keep moving. Keep it moving. You're right.
The only one that was caught for that was Hobbs. He's the only one that was actually caught. Everyone else drove away.
Yeah.
So
and they also broke out of prison.
Well, that was Shaw and Hobbs. That wasn't the rest of the team. The rest of the team, after the EMP gig, they just went back to base and were like,
got arrested.
Oh,
but it was very confusing because all the guards that were outside waiting for them to like get out there, Hobbs and Shaw, all look like the guards from the inside. Like all of their equipment looks like the same guards. So it's like
they're all the same people. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so they were in on the whole breakout.
Yeah,
and an inmate got killed.
Yeah.
They didn't like that. They built that one in. They knew that they needed to get rid of him. And they were like, "Oh, this is gonna be."
I mean, the guy looked like an asshole, but I'm like, I'm sure he's got some family somewhere. Like, hey, where did Paul go?
No. At some point, Mr. Nobody said ghost him, and they ghosted him. Like, what do you?
They ran him over with a motorcycle.
they didn't, in fact, he didn't get stabbed. No. It was later. They dragged him outside.
It was the motorcycle that got him.
Well, actually, on the weapon he was stabbed with, if you look closely and zoom in, there is a drawing of a motorcycle on it.
Well, see, I picture like Jay was saying, like it's one of those things where he was like in the hospital recovering, and then like that scene from Pet Sematary where the guy holds a motorcycle over him. Gotcha.
I like that he is dead, but they just run his corpse over with a motorcycle to save face.
Ghost him.
That's fair.
Ghost him.
So then I get the scene where they're like walking in, they're explaining like, hey, these are all any of the asset forfeitures or whatever for the fancy cars and the drug bust, we all take them here. On anything that's on the East Coast is all taken to New York apparently. And I'm like, there's got to be like not only logistical but like law reasons why you keep the cars that you take from crimes in different spots along the East Coast in the spots they're supposed to stay in. Like you don't
you regularly try to apply logic to completely illogical things. This is
what is this evidence trail that you like? Oh,
I'm sorry, my bad. I was like, you shouldn't center them all these fancy cars in one spot.
No, I know you place all of your eggs in one basket. That's the old nursery rhyme, isn't it?
Sorry,
that's the same.
You're right. It's like Easter.
Why'd you get such a big basket if you didn't want to put your eggs in there?
They couldn't pay for more storage space. They just had to use that one spot, right?
Like, not with New York real estate prices.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it's on the water. Yeah. That's why it's right there.
Well, then my next question was, and I know Ken had the same one, is that now we're getting to the scene where Dom is pulling the fake fail switch, which again, I don't know why he was allowed to outfit his car.
Hold on. Pat's got a laughing moment.
I have another crossover. Because
were you thinking of the DH from the on the DL?
No. I was going. No, that's fantastic. But no, I was going because it's New York and it's the waterfront. I just pictured Lenny Briscoe walking up like, they say they were murdered over here. I can't remember Benjamin Bratt's character's name, or Jesse L. Martin walking up asking little nobody who is pretending to lift boxes because he's trying to cover himself.
Yeah.
I'd watch that crossover. I'm down.
I would. Yeah. So many crossovers. But yeah, we get the next scene where Dom is now pulling the fail switch in his car again. I don't know why he's allowed to outfit his car, but she let him do that.
Yeah, that's what I don't like. There's so many things that this car does and that's allowed to do. I'm like, wait, because this isn't his car. Like he build it and she let him build it? In which
Mhm.
case, wouldn't she have seen the invoice for the fake out switch?
Yeah.
Or if he has stash houses and he was able to go pick up one of his cars and not tell her about this, like it doesn't make. I'm like, where does this come from? How does he have this? How can he plan any of this? What's going on?
Especially when she's supposed to be able to hack into everything, because like the whole point of this next scene is that like she can see using God's eye every CCTV camera, whatever. She can access all of them.
ATM
And
camera.
I'm like, how does he know where every camera's at?
Because God's eye. Yeah.
Did he hack it before she got like? I'm like, he happens to park in the one spot that is like has a blind spot because Helen Mirren's friend helps block that one spot. I'm like, she's talking about bouncing, getting a reflection using using the AT. He looks right at the ATM camera. I'm like, how did you know that?
Here's what happened.
I do have.
Oh,
okay. I have one question. Jay, did you stop at a drive-through real quick?
Oh no,
Is
I
that-
pulled into my garage. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's
was
awesome.
with
Background.
You're no longer on the road, so it's like I didn't know if you're stopping to get like a milkshake. or
He
something.
also has a fail switch. He's got to park.
Yeah, I had to park. But yeah, I was laughing too hard, and it was one of those things where I'm like, "Well, I'm home." It feels like a dick move to the studio, so I'm just gonna stay in the car. So,
Well, fair.
Thank
He's
you.
like, I'm still in the call. Like,
yeah, I can't just like mute and drop off. No, I'm sticking around. So
Yeah, we got eyes everywhere. We'd see him.
yeah, exactly. God's eye.
God's eye. That's how we have you a camera right now. There's an ATM in your garage that's parked.
Yeah, that's pointing off of the reflection of a motorcycle because I am secretly Ghost.
Oh, damn it!
Oh no!
Part of the cabal.
Cuban ghost. I assume that there is a scene before Dom gets there on the plane where everybody goes to bed because it's time to turn in, and he sneaks out and goes to God's eye and finds the spot in New York where the cameras cannot find him. That is my headcanon.
Okay.
So you're up. It's time for snoozing, guys. Let's go to bed.
Or maybe he goes in and he finds one of those fucking nerds at the terminal, and the guy's like, "Are you gonna ask me to build you a sex room?" No, man. I need a car.
Oh, thank
Okay.
God.
But
Oh,
but
yeah.
I do need a baby in there. Damn it, baby again.
Damn
But he's
it, again.
Or he reaches
What is
in
with
and he
you
reaches,
people?
he reaches into his bag, pulls out another cross. So you want to be part of the family? And he hands it to him.
Smash
your
cut
baby.
to another scene of the harem, and then it's the nerds in there with them.
But I love it if the guy
Yeah.
takes the necklace, he winds up in that room next to her, and he's like, "How the fuck did I get in here?" It's like magic. Oh no, I'm gonna get killed. Got a
This
red shut
one's
on and
ladies
everything.
too.
I'm gonna need that back.
I gotta give that to Letty.
All right, so now he's in there talking to Helen Mirren. Now, mind you, he's got 5 minutes, is what he's told from what's her name? You got 5 minutes. He's in there just chatting it up like there's no fucking like he's got no timer on him. Like, all right, you gotta finish your coffee. I got a proposition. I'm like, shouldn't you be like in a hurry to like tell her what she needs to know and get this over with? Fucking casual as shit.
This is where my cursory viewing of some of the previous films is causing some problems. Had we been introduced to Magdalene Shaw before?
No.
Okay,
No, this
so
is the first movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
just a random. And see, this is where like cross pollination happens too much because like I've seen clips from future movies and stuff. So I'm like, okay, this is probably Shaw's mother, and like I just knew that from inference from all the other clips I've seen.
Because she has a
But I'm like-
British accent.
Yeah, but it's like, are
Even
we
though her
supposed
son's Cockney.
Yeah, but are we not supposed to know that already? Because I'm like, because it was like I'm like,
I think he says the last name like when he's talking to her.
okay, yeah, because there's something like you cost me my sons or something.
Yeah.
I missed. I know I missed some context. So I'm like, is this something that I just missed?
But no.
or are they
This
telling us
is
this
the
on
audience's
purpose?
first introduction to her.
Okay, yeah.
And she's completely uncredited in the movie as well. Like,
Oh,
they
which
don't
Which is
even
weird because
call-
like she gets FaceTime and everything.
yeah,
It's like you're not gonna not know who she is.
exactly.
I wonder if she was like, I don't know if this one's gonna do very well, so I don't put my
Yeah,
name.
I
on
mean,
this
but then she went to go do Red. So I mean, really, what's the?
She does it for the art, man. She's not in it for the
Yeah.
money.
one. Oh no, she
Right.
got paid
Which-
handsomely.
I mean, Red could just be another crossover, really. Like,
Oh my
Really
god,
good.
It really
This-
could. Yeah.
This is what she does when she's not babysitting her sons, idiot
Yeah.
sons. So then we get the next scene, which is Hobbs starts reading the credentials for Shaw, and like the I guess like recommendations he got from other people, and he was like, "Oh, you did a selfless act, and he was this great soldier and stuff like that." I'm like, he still killed Han.
Yeah. And they give it the good guy thing of like, oh yeah, I was trying to save my brother Deckard. Deckard?
No, Owen.
Owen.
Oh,
he's Deckard.
I'm trying to save my brother because he was corrupted by Cipher, and I was gonna try and save him, but you guys got in the way. It's like, I mean,
What?
and also, that's the other thing too. Is like at one point when they, I guess it's something to come up in the future still too. But I'm just like, I don't know why you're trying to redeem him. As far as we know, he killed Han.
Yeah.
To the best of our knowledge, everything we've learned to this point, he killed Han. We know that as a fact.
But at the end of that scene, they're both smiling. I'm like, Hobbs.
Yeah, they're just like,
a fucking killer.
You know, your muscles are pretty nice. You got some pretty nice muscles too. Is that not the audio on your movie? Did I watch a different version? Okay.
I think you got the director's cut.
Yeah, fair enough.
Then we get the next scene is go ahead, Pat. You can say.
I was gonna say Red came out in 2010 and 2013, so technically they're prequels.
There we go.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Works.
All connected. So then we get the next scene of what's her name? Cipher using God's Eye to find the Russian, which he's behind a police motorcade. You didn't need God's Eye for this. All you needed was the schedule for the day. Again,
But it's so
God's
much
Eye is
easier to break
utterly
into
useless.
Yeah.
And all you did is like, oh, where is he going from 10 a.m. to 12? Oh, look, he's traveling from one spot to the other. Why would we just intercept him there?
This feels like a snakes on the plane moment with it was the only option using the snakes, where it's like we tried to pay off two of his team and they didn't do it. Our only option is to get Dom Toretto to steal the God's Eye for us. It's the only available option left.
It just sounds so complicated for them to do that, risk that. When again, all you had to do is find out what his schedule was. Because again, police motorcade. He's in like a 6-car motorcade. I'm like, that's him. That's him right there traveling.
You could have paid off just a corrupt officer. Like you could have just gone
in the NYPD. How dare you? How dare you?
I stand for a lot, but
if she can hack Dom, she could hack a bunch of police officers, right?
How dare you?
What do you mean hack?
How
Just
dare
go
you?
to Powell from
No, just kidnap their kids. They all have.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and they're all they're a lot less
He's a
resourceful
corrupt
than
cop in
Dom
Hell's
is.
Kitchen.
Just go to a bar they go to and buy them a drink and let them talk. You're gonna find out. It's fine. You're gonna know.
Like, yeah, Tuesday at 10 a.m. But it's not a big secret.
You want to earn an extra $50? Done.
And you don't need to fly around in your plane to do that. But anyway, so she's using now. This is where she gets real technical. She's like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna start taking control of every car in New York except for the one that I fucking need to stop.
So wait, what time is it though?
Oh, that's fair.
I don't know.
It's zombie time. That's what she says. She says it's zombie time.
That's right.
Self-driving cars.
Which, by the way, it isn't, because there are. This is where I got a bit confused, and I don't know if the writers did this on purpose, but she takes over some unmanned cars and some manned cars, which presumably means that she might have killed a bunch of people in this whole instance. Like, it'd be one thing if, like,
confirmed kills.
100%.
Confirmed kills.
Because it's one thing if it's like, all right, she only took over unmanned cars. At least that's all we've seen. Like, they only show you the unmanned ones. So you're like, okay, presumably she only takes those over. But they show you the ones that are manned. So I'm like,
and a cab driver says, "Never mind, I'm out of here. I'm gonna jump out, leaving behind his fare in the car."
Also like in the middle of all the. I'm like, he probably got ran over by the unmanned cars right afterwards.
Yes, exactly. He jumps out to only then be run over by the other ghost cars or zombie cars. Sorry, not ghost cars. There's a difference. Cuban ghost cars, zombie cars, different things.
So I had several questions about this because, again, it seems overly complicated, and it'd be different if she were like, hey, you know what? I'm a woman of theatrics. I like the theatrics. I'm like, okay, now I understand why she's doing this, but she doesn't seem that way. At least she doesn't give off that vibe.
Because she's constantly, every 20 minutes, her data's wiped from the internet. So she likes to operate in the shadows, not high theatrics, make it rain. And then, which, by the way, how was Tyrese not the one to say that line? To make them bring the rain. Like, does no one?
I'm sure he was. And then Charlize crossed it out and was like,
another crayon color.
So it's the most colorful script on the planet.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. She used a felt pen. She was the only adult in the room.
That's fair.
But she did write nuh-uh. But then she takes over all these cars, and instead of like just boxing them in initially. She has them chase them down, which the Russians respond with pulling out a goddamn railgun out of the middle of the car and shooting all the cars in its way. And I'm like, he doesn't know that those are empty. I don't
He
think
doesn't know that
diplomatic
they're
immunity
empty?
gets you away with this.
To just have a Gatling gun on the top of a car. And also too, there's a weird on the point of like the cabbie one, there's also a moment where they just have a meter made right in a ticket and the car drives away. I'm like, why? I mean, hey, cool, that person got paid for that day and I'm happy about that, but story-wise, why? Like what do we
It only
gain?
makes sense if she got ran over by accident.
Yeah.
Or she's the Rock's like cousin and she needed a day back, like that's fine. She needed another couple hours on her SAG card.
It's the same reason why they shot the cars being taken over, people in them. Like, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
You put people in there. And so that's when they get to make it rain. So again, you get all these cars flying out of the garage. And I'm like, again, there are probably people in some of the, out of the, I don't know, 50 cars that fell out of the building. One of them had to have people in it.
There are so many dead people. There are so many dead people.
so many
illegal in New York.
Also, she uses cars to smash into the NYPD cars. I'm like, why not just take over the NYPD cars and just shut them down?
Oh, well, because those are underfunded cars. Oh, I was about to say they're underfunded, so they don't have electronics like that. But never mind, they would never defund the police. So that's a foolish statement.
Also, where's the NYPD's helicopter unit? Because they show you the scene.
They cut the funding. There's no helicopter. They lost it.
Well, because they show you the overhead scene of all those cars like piled on top and the explosions, everything. I'm like, and then you see Dom come out looking like fucking Crossbones with the mask and the saw and everything and the shield. But I'm like, there should be like at least a helicopter unit that's just like floating over. Like, all right, I still got eyes on the fucking one random dude in a mask coming to like get the Russians. Keep an eye on him. Like, does that not happen?
She took over the helicopter and
well, then but again, I wrote in my note. I wrote in my notes like that looks fucking cool. But then he proceeds to immediately take the mask off, even before he gets off the limo.
Yeah, you've never seen a superhero movie. They take it off the moment that they need a monologue. It's time to talk.
Mm-hmm. He literally didn't say a word. He just took it off and walked away. And I'm like, you didn't have to take off the mask.
It's really uncomfortable. Yeah, he regularly moisturizes. Okay, that's part of his routine.
Nose itches.
That's where my notes stopped for now. What do you got, Ken?
My last one was minigun for the diplomat, and that was the last note. That was on there that we brought that up.
I also love that they just like, he's like, give me the suitcase, and he saws the like back half of it a little bit open, and then opens a flare, and I'm like,
oh, well, he says it's the gas tank because he's like, oh, he's opening the gas tank. So the idea was if you don't open the door or give me the football, I'm gonna blow this up. And
would the suitcase survive?
Yeah, I mean, hypothetically, if it's a nuclear football, like that's the term. That's the term they use. They're after nuclear football, and I'm like, do people know that term is anymore? Like, does that? I mean, we know about it from '90s movies, but does everyone still have that idea in their head of a nuclear football is a bunch of launch codes? But yeah, that's that. The conceit was that he had opened up the access to the gas tank and was going to blow the car up through the gas tank with a flare, and that's why like, oh, never mind, I don't want to die.
Mind you, he opened up with a buzzsaw, so there's sparks everywhere.
Yeah. There is that too, but also too, hypothetically, like if the car is bulletproof and it's also insulated for that type of thing as well. Yeah. Like it's
because the other explosions on top of it did nothing to it.
Yeah, but
wouldn't he just threaten them with the buzzsaw? I mean, am I just being a monster right now?
I'll just cut your hand off.
Exactly. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Don't give it up. I have a giant ass saw and you're pinned in a car. Yeah, let's do this.
I would have loved if the Russians said, all right, fat boy, let's go. See if you got enough energy to get in here. Because he only saw the back half of the gas tank. Was like, all right, I'm kind of fucking tired. If you guys don't give it to me, I'm just drop this damn flare in here.
It's too much work.
Yeah. Too much work to get in there for you guys. Oh my God. Also, it would have been really fucked up though if the guy stuck his hand out with the suitcase and he still sawed it off. just fucking did.
Oh, my bad.
That's why he didn't. He's just like, never mind. I'm just gonna why bother? I'm just gonna like give it all to you.
Hey, she wanted to see the old Dom.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So, all right, Pat, where you go? Where do we go after this?
Okay.
Because I think this is when Dom meets his old crew, right?
Yes, they all finally show
up. Which, by the way, they knew where they were going to go at. They knew they were going to be in New York somewhere. And it's like they got there and they just put their feet up like, all right, whenever the radio kicks off, we'll go get them. Like nobody did need like, hey, maybe they might be after the Russian. Maybe they might be after this high profile guy. Maybe we should put some eyes somewhere to be like, hey, the second something starts to go wrong, like their cars falling out of a fucking garage and these guys haven't even left fucking across I think the GW bridge. Like they're on the other side of New York.
Yeah, well, that's where they get the radio. Like, so get the Girl Scouts out here. Something we need backup. And he's like, that's Dom or whatever she says. She's like, that's craziness is Dom, and that's
But I'm like, you guys were just chill. Like nobody was monitoring any of like the second that the cars started driving themselves. I'm sure they should have been like, all right, let's go. That's our cue. You didn't have to wait for the radio to be like, hey, everything's already happened. The Russian's not pinned in. We need help. Like that's at least, I mean, in the movie time, that's at least 10 or 15 minutes of them driving by and them just sitting there going like, nah, I don't think that's our guy yet.
Not yet. No,
not yet.
Not that one.
It doesn't look quite like Dom right there because somehow Dom can control all the cars. Like, is he Magneto? It's like, does he mutant powers? Like, I can control cars.
Well, they're like, oh, he has a mask on. No, that's not Dom. That's not Dom.
Yeah.
No, he just took it off. That's Dom. That's definitely
Dom. Oh, it's evil Dom. Of course he's wearing a mask.
He has sleeves.
Oh, the fucking sleeves threw us off.
I do believe at this point, this is where Dom runs into the team and he does the, hey, I think I know where my team is.
Yeah, because he's asking at one point, where's my team? Which I thought when the first time he asked, where's my team? I thought he meant like there's going to be a team of people he's working with because that's how he does business. And then after that, when we get the ghost cars or the zombie cars and whatnot, so he's like, I think I know where my team is. And I'm like, oh, so he's just worried about where they are, which reasonable. Like they do stop him.
I really want the movie where he has an evil version of everyone on the team. Like that's a bad guy team,
right? Is it?
That's the Cabal, right?
Yeah, but I want like generic knockoff version.
Yeah, that's what they had though.
So not the Cabal.
Well, like maybe that's how the Cabal movie opens. It's like the first Mission Impossible movie where it's like a bunch of knockoffs of them, and then they all get killed by the old school team, and then he's like, "I got to form a new crew," and then that's how the new Cabal gets like kind of lit up.
I'm in on that.
Yeah. Because I mean, like I said, wasn't the fourth one the one with Gina Carano? Didn't they have like the generic versions of themselves? And isn't that what Roman points out?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
right.
Yeah, but we don't talk about she who shall not be named.
Whatever. Either way, I'm just like, hey, they was like, hey, that's the Han. That's the version of you, Han. That's the version of me. That's the version of, and I think the blonde lady was the version of what's his name, Brian. I think it's what he jokes about.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do that. But yeah, he runs into, I think the first person he runs into is Hobbs.
Yeah.
In his truck. And he's like talking over like the microphone, like, hey, Dom, give us whatever fuck it is you stole. We don't know what it is, but give it to us. And they're all kind of like lined up. And Michelle Reggie's just like, please just do it. And Dom's like, fuck you guys. I'm going to run you over. Even though like all of them were like lined up in a row. And I think, was it Mr. Little Nobody or whatever tries to like take him on by himself. I'm like, come on, guy.
Yeah, and Little Nobody in there like, I'm going to be filling the role of Brian today. I'm like,
well, he does it even down to the car. Like he chooses the type of car that Brian
car. Yeah,
I know. Like, I'm just like, what do you like? That's like, no. If you're not going to bring Brian, don't fill his slot with someone that just feels like that. Yeah, like it just seems especially not
unnecessary.
Especially with Jai Courtney. Like, why would you put him in that role?
At least Jai Courtney's a name. Scott East was a nobody.
I don't know how they brought Peter Weller back from 1983 and got him into the movie. But...
generic enough.
Go Robo.
Also, I've never seen New York this empty. I mean, maybe this is before congestion's pricing, but they are able to just fly around this area. And I'm like, hold on, you just pulled cars from other streets to cause a giant accident. So I'm sure all these one-way streets are now diverting everybody else. These things should all be backed up.
No, this was filmed at the same time they filmed Vanilla Sky.
Okay.
When they're all in one shoot.
Tom, are you done with the set? Can we use it?
Can we roll through? Can we just?
Yeah.
Can we play through?
Then they drive
through
the
back nine.
What is it? A flea market or swap meet or whatever in the middle of the farmer's market or whatever. And they're just driving through it. I'm like, somebody had to die there too.
Yeah, Letty doesn't care.
So many bodies.
Letty don't give a fuck.
No, that's true. Also, Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I had nothing. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask. I think this is also where Dom kills Deckard, right? Wink, 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 wink,
Yes.
wink, 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 wink,
Mhm.
wink.
Yeah. Well, after that's after they pull the doors off and they hook him and they do all that. That's when then Deckard dies.
Oh, that 5,000 RPM. Yeah, that okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be 2,000, 3,000. Like what? Over 9,000. Like
I'm sure
why was that
Vegeta's
not
on the
a
roof
line?
somewhere going, impossible!
Exactly. Like the missed opportunity. Like one of them, like Tej should have just been touching his head. Like actually, it's over 9,000. Tej is a nerd, right? Like that plays. That tracks.
Yeah, that's right.
No, that's correct. Yeah.
So it's funny. All I have in my notes for this section is whole lot of nonsense. Just whole lot of nonsense. Just because it is just everything. Like especially that whole like it's gotta be 2,000. Like that's just okay. That's fine. We all have harpoons in him, and we're all just pulling him, but like not stop. We're just gonna sit here until something happens. Like he's not gonna give up. We clearly know Dom, even evil Dom with sleeves, is just not gonna give up. This is old Dom. What are we doing here?
So yeah, I mean, we're just at the point like the next hour of this movie is just a nonsense train down to Nonsenseville and Nonsense Town.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're just at the we're even the pretend points of a plot. Like no, screw it, just go. I mean, he stole nuclear codes.
Yeah,
that's where we are right now.
Also, nuclear codes, which also begs a question. So a Russian diplomat in America is carrying around nuclear codes. This isn't like they stopped him in, the Kremlin or they stopped him in Moscow. Like they are in America. So the Russian diplomat, again, just diplomat, not ambassador, just generic diplomat, is carrying around nuclear codes. Not like, to my knowledge, in my movie head of things, like that's held by the president and the Secret Service. So why is just a diplomat wandering about the streets of New York with the nuclear football? Like that's not
and being protected by United States police officers
and pop up miniguns in their SUVs, just like surprise minigun.
Like what is a series of events like? Well, we got to have the nuclear codes in New York on this day. It's very important.
Well, then I have to have my minigun, of course.
Well,
yeah, or at least give me like, oh, they were picking up the nuclear football because they bought one from us. Like that tracks better than anything else. At least give me that. Like it's an arms deal.
We bought our codes. We had our codes. We bought new codes.
They just showed up on the White House lawn and bought stuff because that's what happens on the White House lawn. You just have a yard sale and sell off things.
So that's where the farmers market starts, that we end up seeing all the way over into New York.
They drive for 6 hours straight.
Mm-hmm.
I also, this is where Letty catches up with Dom and does the Dom, please, Dom. And then after
she snatches the thing from him, because it's like, first he like runs into Deckard, shoots Deckard. Deckard goes down, and then she's like, grabbed a football, time to run, and like starts running, and he's just kind of like, oh, she took my football, and just basically lets her get away. Like he's gonna, and I don't know.
He catches up to her. They have a conversation, but then who is it that just like one of the other skeevy villains of Cipher's team? Like, I'm going to shoot her. Oh, is it Torben?
Yeah,
it is Torben.
Torben, yeah. And that's the reason why he kills him later.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason why he kills him later is also, there's also something else we'll get to in a minute. But yeah, wait, we got a finger from Kareem.
Oh, shit.
And a zoom in.
Dang.
Oh! D-hands.
I was like, two can play at this game. Like,
I had to go grab some water. But I was just,
oh my goodness!
Sorry.
I was just rewatching the scene.
Take some notes.
They shoot arrows into the car and somehow don't hit Dom.
Yeah.
Then
of course,
they all proceed to use their horsepower to pull him in presumably 5 different directions. So much so that their tires are turning into fire. Dom, again, we don't know the strength of the doors themselves, but apparently they're strong enough to hold. as they're being pulled in different directions. Dom, in order to break free, just elbows the door loose, and it goes flying into the first door. Goes flying into Hobbs's truck and smashes him backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we established this in the Cuba opening where he can tear cars apart. With
I'm just trying to figure out like what is the level of strength in his his shouldering of the door to the torque from the harpoon.
According to the cran on the script, the cran said it's over 9,000, and that's when he hit it with his elbow, and he goes Super Saiyan. He gets a little tail too.
Crayon script there, yeah. Because then he decides to slowly run into Roman, like he rams him forward first, then pops the door on that one, then pops the door on the other side, which then gets rid of.
That's right. That's when he flipped like. He does spins and kicks off Eastwood or not. Nope. Little Nobody Sam Worthington gets spun out, and then he
and then I think Shaw as well.
And Letty and someone are like, "Oh no, don't let him get too much
Shaw I think
leeway."
Yeah.
And then he's able to finally kind of kick it and flip them over and drag
he flips both of them over. Yeah. Anyway, he gets out of the car, starts running with it. Somehow Letty gets out and is able to chase after him to take the football from him. Which is then when Tormund shows up and was like, Jon Snow still knows nothing. Puts a gun to her head and Dom's like, hey, that's it. Draw the line.
Yeah.
What stopped
because
nobody
he loves
from
Letty.
just
Not Elena.
Yeah.
What stopped nobody from just using a rocket launcher from a building and blowing up all their cars right there to get the nuclear football?
He wanted to have a drink with them later.
A lack thereof.
So then Dom and Tormund run off together, and now everyone's left at the warehouse, kind of licking their wounds, like, can't believe Dom did this to us again. I can't believe we can't beat Dom. It's just one of him. How good are we really? This team's kind of garbage without him.
Hard carried the whole time.
This is John Elway in the 80s. Nah, you guys are good too. You're good.
Seriously.
Good.
They should at least be giving him some trouble.
Guy
doesn't have a scratch on him from this team. Sorry guys, but you guys
at least know his tendencies.
Yeah.
Letty was around for old Dom.
You would think so. Well, no, remember, she doesn't remember shit.
Oh,
that's true. Yeah, this is her second life. So
yeah,
the brain damages.
Now we get Dom trying to talk to Elena, and Cipher just showed up with the baby in one of those little carriage things in front of her.
Oh yeah,
and she's being sort of flirty, but kind of threatening still. Again, I don't know what the line is for her to sort of attracted, not attracted, playing with them, whatever. And he got Elena tied up. Now, Dom did his job. Why do we have this scene?
Because he disrespected her. He went on to hiding. He didn't let Tormund shoot Letty in the head. That's why we have this scene. How dare you? How dare you not follow orders?
But he did.
Yeah, and
no.
He saved Letty. So there is now now that we bring this in, there's an undercurrent of she's jealous of Letty. She's like, oh no, I want you. You're mine now. And she's against Letty. And it's just hitting me right now in discussions oh no, she's like, how dare you save Letty? I wanted Tormund to kill her and you saved her. So you still love Letty. How dare you? You're mine now. And that's in this weird love triangle, I'm gonna kill the fourth part of this equation. Elena, you got to die.
I can't kill Letty, so let me kill new Letty.
Yeah.
Also, they fired a gun into Elena while the baby's in the room. I'm like, you know how loud guns are?
Yeah.
You're in a confined space. All of you are deaf for the next 3 days. That's just
minimum.
Also, discharging a firearm in an airplane. What's going to happen there?
Well, it's in the sex room.
Yeah, it's true.
That's fair. It's all soundproof.
Built for that.
Yeah.
It's built to stop penetration, ironically.
Something that will never get addressed, but I am curious. What happens to Elena's body? Does she? I don't think she gets.
Hold on.
She threw it out of the plane.
So I I have a tinfoil hat moment. So, did you guys watch Invincible? Like, did you read those comics? Watch some anime or not the anime, the cartoon?
Not the live action movie with Marky Mark.
Nope. Invincible comic book. What?
Yes,
I'm just saying, like, maybe she survives it, and then she's actually a member of the Cabal, and that's like the big twist, right? Because we don't see her body, right? This is like a Han moment, where it's like implied death. Like,
yeah,
well, I mean,
there is.
Spoiler alert: they did bring back Giselle, so
yeah, exactly, and like she got thrown out of a plane.
yeah,
like,
presumably.
There's a comment. My next comment is they better not let some of these people live to make it to the Cabal, short of cybernetic parts. That's all in my notes.
Oh yeah,
100%. Like, because especially like when this point, I'm like, no, Tormund's done. Like, even because I was still the same guy who's like, when Dom has the gun, he's like, yes, and just pulls the trigger. Like, just stop this. Like, if he'd have just grabbed Cipher in Cuba, no, you're not getting away. You clearly have something on me. I'm just gonna stop you now. Like, I'm not letting you walk away from this. But yes, I was just like, her coming back as a member of the Cabal was a discussion at one point, but then I think we weren't at this movie yet because we were like, oh yeah, she's upset about the whole being put off by Letty, but then we had new movies come out, so yeah.
Oh yeah, she's already changed courses.
Yeah,
sadly.
And she's like, "Where's my son?"
It does explain why they fight, though.
His name was Mark. Awesome. I don't know what you call him now. Yeah.
Where's Kid?
Brian?
Yeah, Brian.
That corrupt cop asshole?
Yeah.
You named him after a fucking rat? What the hell?
I don't know. Even crazier though. At the end of all these movies, is that we just get Marcos waking up in the middle of the night and going into the room and stabbing Dom. Like, this is for my mom, asshole. And that's how these movies end. He stabs him with the necklace too.
Oh, he not like a garrote, like with the
no, just the necklace.
No.
Just the necklace.
He sharpens the necklace. Yeah, that's fair.
And takes it.
I have my notes. All bets are off, but I don't know if that was a reference to something. Just that was that. I think that may have happened at some point. I mean, yeah.
Well, I think it's just to the notion that like they've kind of killed the leverage. I mean, technically she has the son, but you did just kill Elena in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
little one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you killed Elena in front of him. I mean, he's known at the bare minimum, he's known her longer than the Cuban-human.
Cuban-human.
I think this is this is actually a note for later on when they get to Russia, but yeah.
Well, this is also just to again keep with the theme. I'm watching the scene right now because this is after he's shot her. He's talking to her in the room, fully sleeved, got a jacket on and everything. I've never seen this guy wear more than one layer. Now he's got shirts and sleeves on, so this is definitely evil Dom.
Yeah, it's evil Dom.
But I wonder if this is going to play again at some point, like in one of these next future movies where he's going to put sleeves back on and you're like, oh, there it is again.
We're going to be watching for it now.
Yeah, really.
Part of me would question if he's had an evil twin brother all this time. But I mean, they would never just insert a brother into these films at some point. That'd be crazy. Just nonsense.
There's a
8 movies in, and they insert a brother. That just couldn't happen.
No, that's like soap opera status at that point. That'd be insane.
Well, yeah.
I'm watching the following scene with The Rock, who's running around in his wife beater or whatever, and I'm like, again, was this one of the crayon moments where like he wrote in sleeves for Dom and they just filmed it and he was pissed that entire time? Like, I didn't fucking want sleeves on. Who put this last minute change in here? And The Rock's sitting there like sleeveless. Only one man can have sleeves in this uniform or in this outfit.
I don't, because The Rock's coming back, right?
Yeah, he's coming back.
To the I
love that. That's awesome. Did you do this, Mackin?
No, that was provided by an artist.
I love that. That is our script.
Yes, perfect. I'm thinking of what The Rock has looked like recently. It's getting weird, man, and everything's
like
gonna
Vince,
be weird.
Right? Like Vince McMahon from like the late
90s?
Yeah,
he's starting to get real plasticky and like it's I don't know. Sorry,
but I think he shot his scenes for this movie or the next upcoming movie before he got all weirded looking. I think.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, like the way that because again they leave on a cliffhanger, so from when you see him in the last part of the movie, he looks like his old self.
Okay.
But I don't know if they shot that and then now they since then shot the rest of the movies. Now he look entirely different. That is a possibility.
So we're at the point now. They're going to Russia, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, the Rock's trying to figure it out, and he's talking to everybody about like how and where they should head next.
And so
Now, I don't know if you guys have further notes for it, or if we want to pause this for the a part 2, because we're 2.5 hours into this movie, and I think we got, judging by the timestamp on where we're at, we got about another 50 minutes.
And they are
Jake?
a jam-packed
Yeah,
bunch of minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
we got a lot to cover.
so we can do a part 2 if you guys are up for it.
yeah.
I'm down. Yeah.
All right. Well, we've really expanded our circle when it comes to Fast and Furious because
And the
we were
family.
and the family, because we used to try to cover 2 of these movies in one recording, and now we cover half a movie in one recording.
Well, in our defense, these movies are getting fucking longer. Like,
Yes, they
That's
are.
true.
I think the
Yeah.
first Fast and Furious movie was an hour and maybe
Yeah.
30 minutes at
Well, because
most.
they just
Yeah.
took the Point Break script and wrote Fast and Furious on it. It was not.
They wrote. I think they created.
Crayon.
Yeah, in crayon they wrote car instead of surf.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Cars.
Cars.
Anywhere it said Gary Busey, they crossed out the Buffalo Bill. What's the actor's name? Buffalo Bill.
BB. What the hell does that even mean? Blackberry? No.
Worry about it. Jay, thank you so much for joining us for part 1 of
Yeah.
part 8.
Yeah.
Part-
Before we leave, let everybody know where they can find you. And
Yes. Give him one more bite at it.
Sure. It's the Towel Cape Brigade at twitch.tv. And then also on Instagram, but I rarely post there anymore. But hey, Towel Cape Brigade there as well. So, and Blue Sky. Yeah. Towel Cape Brigade on Blue Sky. So
cool.
There's a lot of good pixel art on there and other fun stuff on the Instagram. So just for those who might like to understand what you might be expecting is some really fun art. I mean, pixel art, but also other art, and it's very enjoyable.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
You're
And if you guys stop by stream, please say hello. My co-hosts are crazy, as Ken has gotten to meet them. So yeah, please stop by. Normally on Tuesdays. I diverted stream today to come hang out with you guys. So
Well, we appreciate it.
yeah, of
Thank you
course.
so
No,
much.
it's been so much fun
Appreciate that you're here for family.
for family.
I hope you had some fun at least.
Dude, I haven't laughed that hard in a while. For real.
I mean, just wait until your hot tub stream tomorrow night. Then,
Oh my god.
then
dude.
you're really
We're just
I
warming them up for the week.
I legitimately was drawing that grudgingly. Like I was like so mad about it.
so mad, but like just wait for the payoff. Like it's gonna be chef
Yeah.
kiss.
Is that Italian chef or Cuban chef?
Oh, this one,
Fagioli.
this is
Pasta
fagioli.
Good night,
To the
everybody.
audience.
That one.
Good night, everybody.
Seriously.
Pasta fagioli.
Pasta fagioli.
Family.
Family.